everybody, and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to the next episode of our Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening series. There we go. My name is Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master for tonight. And as you can see, I am joined by two absolutely lovely people as we are continuing the Origins of Lilly story. I will get them to introduce themselves now and the characters that they're playing. I'm going to start off with Scarlet.
Hi, I'm Scarlet. I go by she, they pronouns, and I am playing Lilly. She, her. Hello.
Hello. And then
Hello.
we have Tom.
Hello, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does Brahm. Brahm, who's sort of late teens at the moment. This is a prequel to all the nonsense that Brahm will get into. He hasn't been stabbed yet. Spoilers, but everything's good and beautiful, and he's here with his best friend in the whole wide world. At the moment, because his other best friend in the whole wide world has left him on ghost mode, has just disappeared. This is great. Just me and my dragon friend hang out in a swamp. Everything's great. Everything's beautiful. Nothing hurts.
No.
That sounds good. Right. Well, before we get into tonight's session, we have a couple of sponsors and supporters to thank. Our sponsor for tonight is Phoenix Dice. You can go to phoenixdice.com to get yourself some clickety-clack math rocks, including some limited edition Roll Together dice, which Tom is beautifully displaying right there. If you use code Roll Together, all caps, at checkout, you can get 25% off of your purchase. We're also proud to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, D&D based game where you can collect fighters and fight waves of monsters across multiple different planes of existence on multiple different types of consoles, phones, and other things, and even fridges. If you type in exclamation point code into chat right now, you can get yourself a free Electrum chest, which will help get upgrades and things for your characters. We're also proud to be supported by Michael Dobson's character art. All of the lovely Aeodrun artwork that you can see has been lovingly made by Mike. You can follow the links in chat to see his Instagram page. Currently, his commissions are closed. A lot of the other recordings say that they're open, but at the time of their release, the commissions are closed. So just check out the link in the chat, and that will tell you whether the commissions are open or closed or not. You can still follow him on the socials, message him, and see when they're open, and also look at his wonderful artwork that is over there. Massive thank you to the D20 Club and Dice Heads and other tiers on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat that must be sent to Tom to then abandon him, by following all of the links in chat. They have made us a Discord. They have made us a wiki. They are fantastic. And I think with all of that, we are going to dive into tonight's session. In our last session, we got to explore the relationship between Lilly and Brahm a little bit more. We ended up traveling back to the town of Volgara, and tried to find some evidence of what might have happened there, and also to collect the bodies of everybody who had died to bring them back to that they could be buried or burnt in various different ways, following the ritual rites. While that was all going on, one of the workmen that came with you disappeared. Didn't know where he'd gone. And I believe the mayor was with you and took you. You caught him trying to sneak off as well, and he went to the entrance to a temple. While there, the temple was opened, and using the blood of Lilly to open the temple, it seemed that it was linked to her blood. and there was a golden heart on a pedestal there, called the Dragon's Heart. While you were looking at it, one of the workmen, who was actually a person called Jevrick in disguise, stole the heart and ran away. Jevrick, for anybody who has been following along with the campaign, is a figure that appears in the future as the left hand of the leader of the Reavers. As you see him currently, he's wearing Imperium armor. Or as you saw him currently, he was wearing Imperium armor, and then he disappeared. He managed to get away from you before you could stop him. So that is where we're going to pick up the session a few days later. After that incident has happened, the bodies have been dealt with. A couple of the builders or the workers have stayed behind in Volgara to begin to start restabilizing the gangplanks and walkways and things, and start to repair the town. And the mayor of Erethinus, the town that you're currently living in, is going to send more people up there so that the town can begin to be repopulated, or the little village can begin to be repopulated. So we'll say it's been, I don't know, let's have Scarlet roll me a d4, please.
Oh. Oh. That is a 4.
It's been 4 days since that happened.
Huh.
You've not had any contact with the mayor since then. They've pretty much kept to themselves, not ignoring you or trying to avoid you or anything. It's been more, they've now got a lot on their plate because they're trying to sort out the repopulation of a settlement while also managing the town that they currently are in charge of. So you've not been able to see them. What would the pair of you have done over the past 4 days? I'm going to throw that to you so we can see what you've been up to. Go.
Well, I think the first thing was a general bandaging of Lily for stabbing.
Ow! Ow!
You're going to be fine, don't worry. You just need to...
I got stabbed.
Oh no, I was there. And then... Right, so if we just... No, you got to be very careful because obviously the swamp has a habit of getting into these things. So we're going to have to make sure you keep changing those dressings.
Ew.
And, don't stick your hand in the swamp. That's good
I'll
life
try.
advice. Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe, possibly.
Bram looks at her knowing that she has spent most of her time in his house, sleeping or generally staying out of the way. I don't think she's gone anywhere near the swamp in this time. She has gone to the bathhouse. That was something. I made her go have a bath. Not made her, but I was encouraging.
Stinky sleepy dragon. Okay, gosh.
In her gym jams.
My dreamit.
We also got the the oils that you needed for because from the bathhouse here that you needed special oils and creams, and now you can.
You'll swim scaly bits.
You can make your scaly bits all shiny.
Shiny horn cream stuff. Yes.
Very nice. Apart from that, yeah. What do you think? Do you think we'd stick around in the town? Do you want to go back?
Probably try and find out if anybody knew anything about that guy. Anything at all.
What are we telling people then? Because we don't want people to know that there's an artifact.
He's a thief.
He's a
We
thief.
won't tell him what he thieved. We'll just say he's a thief.
Okay, I think we're going to have to say he stole tools or...
Yeah, he stole some very expensive tools.
And actually, I think because we said there was a whole thing about respecting the dead here, that he also broke into people's... there's evidence that he stole from people's houses. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Right, so that's it. Yeah, we're putting out a... I think the conversation we just had kind of also where Bram was like, we need to keep this a secret, So the story we're putting around is that this guy stole from the houses, stole tools, and has now vanished, and there is...
Had sketches done of his face.
Yeah.
Asked people to hand around the pamphlets. Share it. Like, any travellers that are coming in and out, take this with you, he's a wanted man.
Also, are we going to say that he stabbed Lily because he
Yes,
stabbed
stabbed
Lily.
her.
So that's also
Attacked and stabbed the mayor.
just a drawing of a hand with like a it's like
Ow.
evidence. Ow.
This injury here.
Arrow pointing at the scar. Yeah. Apart from that, I think if we're sticking around, Bram's helping with the building and the transportation. But has sort of gone, so what exactly do you want to do now? We could go chasing after him, but we don't know where he's gone.
He was really good at the whole poofing out of nowhere and then flipping around and stabbing. I don't know what we would do if we caught him.
I mean, if we're making an educated guess, he might have gone across the water back to the Tarragon Empire, which is a whole nother kettle of fish.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Did your okay? So we're doing this in it's in Lily's father's room. So we're just sort of so we're protecting. Is there any more information? Like what do we think? Well, we got an idea why they might want it. There might be something they can make out of these artifacts. But what can they actually do now they've got hold of this heart? Anything in your father's notes? Or?
Is there any kind of information about if it's a dragon's heart? Is there any information on what kind of dragon?
You had a little bit of a look through the journal, through the diary, through the book. It's a book. It's not a journal. It's not a diary or anything like that. It is an actual book of facts about dragons and dragonkin, and it's probably the most read thing you've ever, sort of the most used book that you've ever owned. You found a small subsection where it briefly talks about the dragon heart, as if it was more of a myth than an actual thing. And it's not that it is actually a dragon's heart. It's just an artifact that was molded in the shape of a dragon's heart, and it was revered by the ancient dragons of the world. It had some great power, or had the ability to bestow some great power, from what the book told you, but doesn't go into detail with it at all because people thought it was a myth.
Okay, so the size of it can't help us out. Like how big it was, is that to scale?
Yeah, it's pretty much to the scale of a dragon's heart.
Like a birthday or like a humanoid?
More like a sort of the in-between space. So if you think of the human size thing would be what they would be if they were a dragonkin, and then the sort of larger size if they were an elder dragon. It's sort of the in-between stage, so it's more as if they were more of an adolescent dragon. I'm trying to not use D&D terminologies there.
Okay.
Right. So we're not sure what exactly he wants it for, but it's powerful.
And it could be made to build a thing.
Yeah. It could. It seems like a big business, really. And I mean, as I said, I don't doubt our abilities, but I really don't think we need to be rushing across the waters to go to the Imperium.
It'd be far too dangerous for us, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Lil, that obviously we could go rushing off to the library, to the south and look there, but you are now a mayor, so you have responsibilities. So, I mean, do you have a mayoral decree? Are you renaming the place? Do you need to paint it? Do we need to
I could paint some emerald green. Oh, I could paint all the doors emerald green. Aesthetics.
It's a good look. It's a talking point.
My decree would be that everyone lives together under the horde of Lily.
So everyone's a horde. Is that your your thing?
The part of the horde,
Part
which is
of.
the town, which is a community of horde.
Right. And everyone follows you, or you protect them, or...
Well, obviously, I protect everyone with my presence, and if everyone knows, oh, this town's protected and by a dragonkin, like the swanky one, they would naturally be safer.
Lily didn't get to see it because Lily was there. Bram's eyes have flicked to the book and then to sword and up again, and he's smiling politely, but like, no, that does sound so swanky mare and emerald doors.
Emerald doors. Maybe we should get everyone like a matching emerald jewelry type thing, like bracelets or necklaces or brooches, so everybody knows. Part of the horde.
I mean, that's... I confess I don't know much about the budget of a small swamp village. Does it have to actually be emeralds?
I mean, that's the dream.
Right.
But we have to build up. We're gonna have... Realistically, we'll probably have to build up to it, like save up a little bit. But we can get some really pretty stones and then paint them emerald.
Right. Okay. That sounds. Hey, if that's on the dream board, if that's what we're working towards,
I should put it on the dream board. Right on the wall, pinning it.
Emerald pins.
Emerald brooches for everyone.
Underneath, there's emerald doors, emerald brooches, and then just horde.
What? Question mark with like a heart at the bottom instead of a dot.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Is that how Lily does her dots?
Yeah.
When Lily writes Lily with the eye with a heart.
Obviously.
Okay, so Josh, you asked what we were doing.
Making a cult by the sound of it.
It's not a cult. It's just it has an enigmatic and charismatic leader who protects everyone.
Not a cult. Never a cult. It's bringing people together under a banner of love and protection, which we all follow and adhere to.
Do things get given to the mayor? Yes. Those are taxes.
Gravy boats.
That's all. Look, she's got...
See? I'm not like others. I'm not like, give us your monies or, give us your firstborn child. No, I'm gravy boats.
I mean, do you want gravy in the gravy boats, or do you just like the aesthetical look of a gravy boat?
On Sundays, we could all bring them together, cook a dinner, and use the gravy boats.
That is actually quite charming. That's quite a nice sort of sense of community.
Eat together one day a week.
That's all like a big communal meal, and everyone can bring, and everyone can use their ovens.
And everyone can feed each other if anyone's super hungry.
I mean, that honestly does sound like a very nice idea. It might be easier to sell than everyone is my horde and they all have to do what I say because I'm so swanky.
Oh, I mean, it's not... everyone gets a dinner.
Everyone gets the dinner, but you just have to accept you are owned.
Slightly mine. But only slightly. In a nice way.
Look, no insult to your ancestors, but this does sound like a nicer version than some versions of Dragons I've heard, where they are like, I own this valley, I get to eat your sheep, I get to eat your people.
Well, yeah, exactly. We do it the nice way. We do it the loving way. loving way.
So Lily plans to love bomb the community and to make sure that she gets the most of the Yorkshire, whatever this world's version of Yorkshire puddings are. You know?
Ooh.
see, just set her off on that little path now. So answer to your question, Josh, I think it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of generally trying to get the village back on its feet. And I think also trying to work out what funding there is. I mean, that also, I think, because last time we were talking about that there used to be like a trifecta of the three like local communities here, and the one to the north, which is nearest the Imperium, doesn't turn up to that anymore. Can we try and get that going again? See if the mayor's going to be like, "Hello, we can start a trade route."
Send some nice letters. Oh, hiya.
You mean the one
How
to the
are
west?
you?
The west, because
Yeah.
there's yeah.
Because one to the north is Volgara. Erethinis is sort of the one in the centre of the three, and then Westhook is the one that has gone relatively quiet, and the mayor doesn't like turning up.
See, you can see why I thought it was to the west, so Westhook. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's true.
You can ask the mayor about the mayor of Erethinis about funding for how all of this is going to get funded and stuff, and he will say that they'll send up any spare supplies and things that they've got from here, but he has sent a request to Avidry, which is the capital of the Aslorian Kingdom, which is the country you're in, to get funds because the rising has not happened yet.
Should I, to the mayor, should I write a letter also introducing myself and asking nicely?
Yeah, I mean, you can do. You could also travel there. Normally, when a new mayor takes power, we normally travel to the other towns just to introduce ourselves, and it's a courtesy for the new one. For the new one in is the one to travel around, as they say.
Sure, but there's like a lot's happening, and if I send letters first with like a sketch of my face and be like, "Hey, it's your girl, sup? I'm here to. This is me face. Guess where I roll? Boop boop."
I mean, by all means, please do that. I mean, obviously, let them know that you're coming as well. Just introducing yourself in the letter and then not saying you're coming will be probably taken in offence.
Rudeness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How good is Lily at drawing?
Can I roll for that?
Make me a performance check, please.
Yeah.
I'm just finding it very funny to just receive an official letter and then just a drawing of the person. It's like, so this is me, so
I rolled a natural 20 for a 24.
Lily is... Well, we've already established Lily's got lovely handwriting, and so, yeah, Lily's really good with penmanship. Yeah.
So very much like Scarlet themselves, the artwork is immaculate and almost looks like a life-size... It's like a life-size portrait of Lily. Not a life-size, a life-like portrait of Lily. Not life-size.
It's literally just that.
Yeah.
Super cutesy. Slightly animal.
Hey, Scarlet, I'm not giving you extra work, but if you want to draw something before we stream this, and just
I'll draw Lily doing that, and I'll write a letter for it.
Maybe.
and it's on the screen now.
Question mark.
Question mark.
Question mark.
The kobolds just get all three of them forgot.
Yay!
Yay.
Question mark.
Question mark. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you could send that letter on the first day, and then begin travel there on the third, fourth, or second, third. No, send the letter on the first day you get back, and then you could travel there on either the second, third, or fourth day if you wanted to.
Are we sending it to the main city or the one that's gone quiet?
The one that's gone quiet. You're in Erethinis. No, you're in Volgara at the minute because you're overseeing the reconstruction of it. So you would need to travel to Erethinis to send a letter. Which you would have needed to have travelled back to Erethinis anyway to gather supplies and stuff to go back. So say you send a letter on the second day once you've been back down to Erethinis and then back up to Volgara, and at that point you've sent the letter. So, but you know that in order for you to get to Westhook, you're going to need to travel back down to Erethinis and then travel west to Westhook. There's no path that connects Volgara and Westhook to each other currently.
Well, that needs to change.
There were plans to. That was one of the conversations that I believe the mayor was talking to you about in the last session, was that they had met up to speak about doing a route between Westhook and Volgara. But the problem with that was is that there were some ruins in the middle of the pathway that they suggested, and they didn't want to destroy them.
Fine. No waterways either.
No, there'd have to be dugout trenches similar to dugout trench that you've travelled along before.
Okay.
While we do that, I do think it is also not a bad idea for us to send something to the capital. Just, that's going to take longer, but it's enough to try and... I don't know if you need to send a picture of your face in that one.
Why not?
Well, I suppose that does make it easier if anyone
They'll
comes
know
to
what
call.
I look like. If anyone comes down to visit, then they'll be like, ha ha! Recognize me.
Bram walks over to the dream board and adds mayoral painting and pops it up. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to have like a town hall or something, they probably do need like a painting of you and go, oh, that's the mayor. At the same
Twinkly anime eyes. Ah.
You can send a letter with your, basically, if you want to send a letter to the capital of the kingdom, it would be the mayor of Erethinus would ask you for a basically a report on what happened, so that could be sent along with their own report, and that will be sent directly to the praetors in Aeodrun. The praetors are like the marshals of the kingdom, sort of thing. They're like the roaming police force. I don't really like using the word police force, but they're like the roaming law keepers.
They're witches, folks.
They're witches.
They're
not mutated, but they're witches.
Give it time. The rising is coming in. Ooh, looks at clock. But yeah.
Or Grey Wardens.
Or Grey Wardens.
Everybody knows that this world is heavily influenced by Dragon Age.
You just take some potions. It's fine.
Definitely won't even ask the other mayor for help. Just it will be written as Lily, just like Lily speaks, with a picture of her face and a picture of a hand which got cut. We'll put in the thieves, not the secrety bits, but the thieves, and be like, yep. Doodles, certain doodles of attackings and.
Yeah. Okay, so those letters get sent off. One to the capital, one to Westhook, and that's done on day 2. Well, the letter to Westhook would be done on day 2. The letter to the kingdom would be done on day 3, because you would have done your stuff on day 2 and given that to the mayor of Erethinus, and then he would have sent it on day 3 because he had other stuff he needed to do while writing that report. So, day 4, would you like to travel to Westhook?
Yeah.
No.
So, we'll say that took the full 4 days, because I said that there was a 4-day time jump, and we've now gone through detail of what's happened during those 4 days. Yeah. So this will be the 5th day that you begin travelling to Westhook. You've travelled down from Volgara, restocked at your little hut that you stay in, and then you have gotten on a barge to a little swamp barge to go down to cross towards Westhook.
Is it my barge?
No, your barge generally goes east towards the main kingdom area. So it would be somebody else. You're not in the. Somebody else is pushing you. Is barging you basically.
Okay. Right. So would someone take my? If anyone needs. Actually, I suppose everyone's going west. Everyone's going to help with the town if they're doing that. So my mine's also been taken out of commission for a bit. Yeah. My Hawthorne thing, just like right, we're shipping things back off. Fair enough. Hey Josh, what's the name of the person taking us? And what they like? What's their attitude? What are they allergic to?
Do they like us? Do they like us?
Their name is Josh. they have hair.
It is Josh.
And hands. And they're also wearing a large brim hat.
The name is Gary.
Gary.
Not Gary. Gary.
Gary.
The name is Gary. They are human, and they are somebody who, well, I mean, they do the same job as you do, but they just do a different
different route. Yeah.
There's a different route to you. So somebody that you would have seen at the bar, a couple of the open bar is in, the bar is in an open space, not bar is in, it's always free drinks, in Erethinis. So you would have had a couple of conversations with him, but he's not somebody who's particularly friendly. He's slightly older. He's a lot older than what you are. He's probably in his mid-40s and has been doing the job for quite a long time. Doesn't really like talking while he's barging.
Oh, how convenient.
You're doing a great job, Gary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably at you. The journey to Westhook is actually the longest of the 3 journeys that you could do. Volgara to Erethinis is 3 hours. The journey to Erethinis to the out of the swamp is probably 4 hours. To get to Westhook, you're looking more at 6 hours.
Okay.
So you head off quite early in the morning and get there just after lunchtime. And as you begin docking, you can see, or as you pull in to get to where the dock area is, the town of Westhook is like Volgara and Erethinis, is on stilts, but the stilts are far higher than what Erethinis and Volgara is. And you would both know that would be because this town is on the coast. So the sea, when the tide comes in, the sea is pretty much around the town. It's pretty much engulfed
Stinky.
in the sea.
Stinky.
Yeah, basically. So it's basically a sea town.
What's the
Or
weather
sea village.
like today? How's the visibility?
Visibility within the swamp is perfectly fine, but as you come out from the swamp and get to where get to the point where you need to dock, the tide's currently out, so there's a land mass of lots of mud and stuff around the town, similar to how there is in other places of the swamp, but there is a thick mist out to sea.
Right. Bram sort of glares slightly towards you. He's like, he's out there somewhere. He stabbed my friend. Right. Yeah, sort of. I think Bram's put on all the bags and stuff, and being like, so, welcome. I've never been this way myself, but
It's taller.
yeah, it's the tidal flow.
Oh, that's the smell. Yeah.
I'd say it's also weird. Bram's been living in the swamps for a while and has got used to swamp smell, and then it's just like, oh yeah, rotting fish and salt smell. Like, yeah.
With
maybe,
still a tinge of swamp smell.
yeah, just sort of pouring in. It's fragrant,
Pungent.
memorable spell, right? Right. Okay. So I guess we.
Do we
go.
climb up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the area where the barges dock is separate to where the boats and the fishing boats and all that would dock to drop the fish off and stuff. The gangplank sort of pier area that you're on is these 6 large posts that stick out of the ground. And these posts go, so you've got the town itself, which is consistently on one level. And then you've got these large posts that stick out around where your docking area is. And these sticks go above the town's level, quite high up. And then you've got the pier there. When the tide flows in, that raises up and matches the tide, and there is a ladder that leads up as well. So this is just so the barge can get in and out without being interrupted by the tide, as it were. So it sails. Gary pulls the barge in, ties it off so that you two can get out, and you would have prepaid for this rather than pay him now. You can give him a tip if you want to, or if not, you can just climb up the ladder into the main village.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say game recognized game, but we're part of the same group. I also know what it's like, I'd tip him well
We brought an extra sandwich for Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like him being grumbly. Bram didn't take personally because he knows exactly what it's like to have to deal with this. You're just like, yeah. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Is the plan to stay here, or are we going to need passage back? Well, I suppose actually because it's 6 hours, isn't it? So we probably do need to find somewhere to.
Lodgings.
Yeah.
Maybe
Actually,
there's a mare house
there
for
probably
visiting
is.
mares.
Actually, I talk to Gary and I go, where's a good place for travellers to spend the night?
Fish house, best place to go.
Right.
The little biggest building, but it's the local tavern, as it were.
Okay.
You can stay there overnight, and then one of their barge people can bring you back in the morning. Or if you're still here when I come back later with supplies later, tomorrow or later on, then I can bring you back.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary.
Right. See you later.
Have a good one.
He goes to push off. He goes to untie the rope and he's like, hang on a minute, I need to get stuff. Ties the thing back off. He's like, I need to restock before I leave. And he'll follow you up the ladder.
Bit awkward that, wasn't it, Gary?
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Nice sandwich, thank you.
You're welcome.
Click, 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 click. Yeah.
When
actually,
you're on the sort of main level of the village, it is probably 6 buildings, like house-shaped huts, similar to what you live in Erethinis. Then you've got a large hut with the Gary will point out is the fish house, and then he'll point to closer to where the sea dock is, and you'll see another house that is not actually built onto the pier that you're on. It's actually built into the swamp and does a very similar thing to what the dock that you've just got off does. It rises with the tide and looks like it's 2-story, probably a lifeguard house with maybe a lifeguard boat in. Yeah, but that's what it looks like. And
do they have a lighthouse here?
They do not have a lighthouse, no.
Oh,
No.
amateur hour.
They do not.
Gary.
Would there be a lighthouse around here? Of course there would be a lighthouse.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're like one of the main coastal towns.
Yeah.
If there's not a lighthouse, there probably would be at least a light.
Very large lamp.
There is a lighthouse, but it's not in Westhook. It is just to the south of Westhook, closer towards the Sand Mountains, which are the mountains that that border the Sand Point Mountains, which sort of border the swamp and the desert. That'd be where that lighthouse is.
North.
Right, yeah, so this is the fish house. I need to go in there and get some supplies. It acts as the tavern, inn, general store, all that sort of stuff. So, feel free to stock our basket, do whatever it is you need to do here. I don't know why you come here. I don't really care. I'm going to get my bits and then I'm going to begin making my way back. I've got a couple of deliveries that are on the barge as well, so I'll sort them out.
All right, then. Have a good one. And
Yep.
Be careful on your way back.
I will. Just stands there awkwardly and then goes,
Yeah, we're going anyway, Gary.
yeah, bye. And then as you walk in, he walks to one of the counters in here, which is a general store area.
I mean, he's a nice guy once you get to know him.
He seems lovely.
Yeah. So, what's the plan? I guess we try and get accommodation. Maybe we need to work out what the mayor exactly wants for us, because there's not much point in us getting accommodation if suddenly we're we have to leave tonight.
What do you mean leave instantly? They don't want us to stay here?
Possibility. We do know that the current mayor's cut all communication off. And
Okay. So charm full.
Mm-hmm.
Big smiles. and more talk about friendship bracelets.
I'm going to make a roll because Bram's. I'm going to say I'm going to make an intelligence roll because Bram has multiple feet. 19. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So friendship bracelets, maybe. Lil, I think you might have to be prepared that the mayor might not be whimsical. You know, it's quite difficult to be mayor, and especially with the neighbours across the water. They might. I think they might be interested in why we could bring money into their village rather than being excited about the possibility of having like a Sunday roast. So while friendship should be a big thing, I think also using that smart noggin of yours to be talking about like fiscal planning and taxes, you know.
I mean, how hard can being mayor actually be? I've been mayor for what, a week, and I haven't had any problems.
Lily, you got stabbed.
That wasn't my fault. That was a scary hidden man who thief did it.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Well, I think let's see what this person's like. See what how they take politely, like gestures around, circle around Lily. You know. See how they react to that, and
okay. I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
Yeah, you'll be nice. I mean, we've at least got one ally. You've got a fellow mayor who's on your side, it seems, and wants to help. And as long as we don't cause an incident, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the two. Maybe we can. I think you also need to think about, you know, why it would be good to work with your village. You know, what are you offering? You know.
Well, we're offering like housing. If anyone wants to like come and live with us, if anyone's looking, you know, wants to spread their wings and stuff, they can come stay with us. Or, yeah, is that an offer? That's a good offer, right?
That's an offer. You know, possibility the mayor might just start giving you people that they don't want here, but that's not a bad thing. I think we're looking around here, you know, there's trade going on. There's, you know. I think we need to look at like what the natural resources of the area is. You know,
fish.
True, it's the fish. Also, you have a relatively functioning bathhouse, which is not nothing.
No, it's very fancy, and we can you know, make it bigger and make it more, you know, a vacation spot
In the swamp, yes.
Yeah. Well, if they're coming from here and it's a bit stinky, they could come to us for a bath.
I mean, it is 10 hours journey, but if we make a path, if we can make the cross country, that would cut things and also triangulate things. That would also open up more passageway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go in with good intentions, see what's on offer, and and hopefully we'll be given a place to stay in the mayor house.
In the mayor house.
So the tavern / general store / everything else is not particularly busy. You can see there are people behind the various different counters. One of them behind the general store is selling some stuff to Gary currently. You can see where the tavern, like the bar area, is as well, and there's a dwarven figure behind that who is cleaning some glasses and putting them away. And sitting in one of the corners in one of the booths, because this is also a restaurant, you get food, you get everything in this place, is a rather tidy looking elven woman who looks a little out of place because she looks that tidy, wearing pretty much like a fine, like a, you know, like a fox hunting, you know, when you see the people go fox hunting and they're wearing like the checkered suits. So it's like wearing like one of those sort of checkered suits.
So
and he's sat
like jacket with tails and breeches. That
pretty much, yeah. And he's sat at one of the tables and is sort of thumbing through some paperwork with some glasses on their face, eyeglasses for anybody who wants that particular description. Has a plate of eaten food and a glass next to them with a half-drunk drink in, but seems to be working. Only other person in here bar the staff.
We should wait our turn for the staff, because Gary is important and getting Gary things.
Or we could take a table, see if they... Do you want to eat? I mean, we've had a sandwich, but...
Actually, yes. What if they do, like, really good fish stews?
I could go find out if you want to go see it. I mean, it's not busy, but...
Yes, please.
Okay. Gesture. Do you want anything to drink, or...?
It's water, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
Walk over to the restaurant-y counter a bit.
Yeah, it sort of acts as part of the bar area, but you can speak to the person behind it, and they say that they do have fish on the menu, and you can place an order of whatever it is you like. What would you like, actually?
If it's fish stew, you know, sort of, yeah, get two of those. Yeah, a couple of waters as well, you know.
And the bartender says that they'll have that brought over to your table with the food. They give you some glasses now, not glasses. They give you tankards of water now, and then say that they'll bring more over with the food as well.
Thank you. Lean in. We're looking for the mayor of this place.
He
Do you know?
sort of looks over towards the person in the fancy suit in the corner of the room in one of the booths. That's who you want.
Right.
Carries on cleaning the glass.
Yeah. I'm just going to do an insight because it's 25. Bram knows things. How you know, sort of like if you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the mayor, or if you'd be like, oh, it's the mayor, you know, sort of like we don't know the vibes of this woman really, but that sort of thing of like, I think it's insight from like the bartender and also from her. How I assume she doesn't look particularly approachable, but you know, isn't sort of sitting there glaring.
She's not glaring. It looks like she is stuck in her work. And with an insight check of that high, you can tell that the bartender seems a bit nervous when he says who they are.
Right. Okay. So Bram's feeling of maybe this woman would not be into friendship bracelets is starting to... Yeah. Okay. Yes. Head back to the table. Takes a sigh because he probably knows where this is going to go, and goes, "Yeah, they're bringing the food over. The lady in the booth over there is actually the mayor. So that is, yeah. So probably want to eat first, or you don't want to. Well, she's working right now. I don't know if you want.
I mean, Dad used to get quite angry. Well, grumpy with me if I interrupted like important paperwork. And it would be rude not to eat first. And if they have my sketch of my face, then we can sit here and just flash my face and see if they recognize.
That is a tactic. That is true. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, she hasn't looked up for my paperwork yet, so yeah.
Well, maybe she'll have to go pee.
There is always that possibility. True, yes. I mean, she is very much in public as well. You know, she's. Although I get the feeling that she probably wouldn't want to be interrupted. But yeah, let's eat first. And then...
I hate it. Ooh. Maybe we can be like super smooth and ask the bartender to be like, hey, what's her favourite beverage? And then they send over her favourite beverage.
Bram politely blinks a few times. Are you trying to hit on the mayor?
No, is it... how you hit on people?
It's a start. You buy them a drink, and then you start a conversation, and then they say, "Oh, who's that from?" And they say the charming little dragon in the corner. Yeah.
I mean, no, like it's a friendly. Okay, we can ask. Okay, what's her favorite ice cream, and we can send a tub of ice cream.
I mean, I know I'd be seduced if someone just brought me a tub of ice cream, but
I mean, that's you, but we can have ice cream and a tiny note saying, "We're not trying to hit on you. We're just trying to be nice."
oh, that would definitely, as soon as you get that, you're like, "Oh, everything's above board." This sounds like a meeting about fiscal policy. As soon as you get a note like that,
It might, maybe.
hey, look, Lil, it's your boat. You're the captain of this. I'll give you the information you need, but
We'll wait, and we'll flash my face without trying to be creepy, and see if they take a break, if they have a little moment, just like, oh, all this paperwork, oof, and then we'll try not to hit on them.
good policy. Well done. Good policy for a mayor.
Business, not business.
Winks. We spend a couple of seconds just winking at each other for a bit.
As the food is brought over to you, the bartender who's brought the food over with some mixed drinks watches as you two just go at each other, winking at each other, and it's like, okay, and here you go. Puts everything down and then gets up and looks at you both again and then walks away.
Wait, before you leave.
Yeah.
Is it okay? If you want to hit on someone, do you send them a bowl of their favorite ice cream, or is it just beverages?
It depends on where you are.
Well, what do you mean, like which corner of the room?
No, like location. Not everywhere sells ice cream.
Good point. Okay, does it have to be beverages, or can it be a dessert or a really nice stew?
Oh, how do you know if they like it?
That's the point.
That is the
You
point.
might insult them if you send something they might not eat or might even be allergic to over to them.
That's actually a good point. But do people hit on each other with food?
They normally hit on each other while consuming food together.
Okay.
There's a word for it. I can't remember what it is.
The date.
Yes, that's it. Date. Yes. Yes. Usually they go on a date and then they hit on each other.
Oh. See, we wouldn't be hitting on them if we sent them a drink or a food. But we can't send them a food in case it's allergic reaction time.
And you can't send them a drink because they might not be drinking.
Oh, yeah.
They might not drink alcohol. They might not like the drink that you send them.
What if it's water?
That's a bit.
They might get insulted and think you're a cheapskate.
What if it's a fancy water?
Sparkling.
Sparkly water.
Then they'll think you've got too much money.
Oh.
That's the thing, you can't realise.
Complicated.
Lil, it's very complicated. There's a lot of.
It's so complicated. How do you hit on someone without actually hitting on them?
You say that loud enough that the mess stops what they're doing, looks towards you with the cocked eyebrow, moves their glasses around. There's a smirk that comes across their face, and then they go back to reading their paperwork.
Did you see my face?
She did. She did see your face. And insight check.
Oh.
I'll give advantage. I'll give help.
Thank you. I'm going to need it.
Scarlet rolls.
Ooh, 17.
17. There was a look of recognition on their face when they saw you.
Okay.
For those of you not watching the video, Scarlet was gesturing.
Sorry, I beg pardon. I pointed to my face and whispered, "She saw my face."
Brad
Sorry,
nods.
listen, I'm sorry.
No, well,
Sorry, we all did it.
it's fine. Okay, so that is you got yourself on there. Well, she knows you're here.
Mhm.
You probably should eat your stew before it goes cold.
Don't want to be rude. Yes. Yum, 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 yum.
How tidy an eater is Lily?
Enthusiastic, but not messy.
I was going to say you don't want to get fish stew on your lovely dress.
Really don't. Meeting someone new, you don't want to have fishy bits all over your hair.
Imagine if we were like, roll for stew. You're like, you're absolutely coated.
Roll for
Josh-
messy eater.
No.
Josh, how is the stew?
Tastes. I mean, it tastes okay. It's not. It's not like Michelin star level sort of thing. It's passable. Something that somebody's slapped some bits together and cooked it. Water tastes a little bit funny. Maybe too much salt, or maybe it's boiled seawater.
Oh. So this is coming from Brahm, who is a chef in his own, where he's sort of like, so passing judgment, where it's like it's passable, but it's not great.
It's passable, but it's not like good.
Is it warm though?
Warm, yeah. It's piping hot when
Good.
you first get it. It's piping hot, and then it does the whole cooling down thing that soups do. Don't know what I was going to go into the description of that, but yeah.
And how's the water? Does that taste swampy? Saucy.
It does have a little bit of an aftertaste to it, but not anything that's like, I don't really like this. If you were to drink a lot of it, you might get a bit sick of it. But in terms of taking in small amounts of it, there's just a tiny little tinge of an aftertaste afterwards.
Because I think we've been drinking pretty filtered water back over the last.
Yeah, you did notice that this place doesn't have a bathhouse, so probably doesn't get filtered water.
Something to negotiate with.
Before we go into this, I assume we looked at maps, Josh. How quick would the passage from here back to Lily's village be if we built it?
Oh, if the pathway between Westhook and Volgara was made, it would cut the travel time down from 6 hours to 3 hours, so it cuts it directly in half.
Well, that's something then. That's
yeah. The biggest issue that Lily would remember from that conversation was the fact that there's a ruin bang smack in the middle of where they would need to dig to make it, and they would need to destroy the ruin in order to carry on. And Valdris was very much against it. Valdris being Lily's father.
Yeah, I didn't have an idea.
Yeah, and the way that the three towns run the swamp area is that they all have to agree on something before it is put into play. There's no outvoting each other. So if one disagrees, it doesn't happen. As you finish your food and your drinks, and the barman comes over and takes them away, you hear a shuffling noise come from the direction of where the mayor is sitting. And as you turn to look, the mayor is stood at your table with the glass in their hand and a light smile on their face. I see that you have finished your food. I wanted to come and I wanted to wait until you'd finished and then come and introduce myself. It is a pleasure to meet both of you.
Hi. We didn't want to interrupt you either. You look very busy.
Thank you. My name is Cynthia.
Hello, Cynthia.
Hello, Cynthia.
And what's your name? Gesturing to you, Bram.
Oh, Bram. Bram Sharrow.
Brilliant. And you must be the new mayor of Volgara, Lilith, I believe?
That's correct.
Pleasure to meet you. It's good to hear that we have re-established contact with Volgara. I haven't had much contact with the mayor of Erethinus, and so I thought I would just come over and say hello. And welcome to Westhook.
Thank you. It's lovely. Your stew's very good.
Just gonna insight check you.
Lily's not a chef.
She believes you.
And Lily's not a chef, though. She thinks it's okay.
No, but she knows what good food tastes like, and she believes you wholeheartedly. You're on a 4.
Oh, so not so fancy as she might pretend. Or maybe she's like, sometimes you have salty fish. Yeah.
There's a judgmental look on her face when you say, yeah, it's very nice, because she doesn't know if you're being sarcastic or not. So she's like, oh, okay, yes. So what brings you... Well, I know what can I do for you? I know what brings you here. It's the jobs of the different mayors to, when a new mayor comes in, to travel to the different towns to introduce themselves, so I get that part. But was there anything else you'd like to discuss or anything at all? Or if not, I have a mountain full of paperwork I could be getting back to.
Oh, well, if it's all right with you and your schedule, obviously, we'd like to discuss reopening contact and, building a new relationship with you guys.
Okay. We can definitely talk about that. I would have thought that the mayor of Erethinus would have been here for those sorts of discussions, but if this is a particular discussion between Westhook and Vorgara, then we can certainly deal with that.
It's nothing secret. We just want to introduce and be friends.
I think the mayor is interested to know if you're interested in reopening the I don't know what you would have called it, the trifecta, or the conversation between the three civilizations and settlings here in the swamp.
Oh, I see. You want to know about building the pathway to get to Vorgara to cut down travelling times.
There is that as well. I think also just generally starting the conversations, seeing what you want, seeing what the two mayors might want as well.
I've not spoken to the mayor of Erethinus for quite some time. We had a bit of a disagreement about something outside of the conversation of connecting Westhook and Vorgara, and I just haven't come to speak to them again, or brought myself around to speaking to them again.
No, you have so much paperwork as well.
Very
Yes.
busy.
Yeah.
Yes, well, ever since the fall of Vorgara, we sort of drifted apart. But it's good to hear that it now has a new mayor and that it is potentially being rebuilt. Thank you for your letter.
You're welcome.
The picture, very finely done. You should consider taking that up as a profession.
That's what my dad used to say.
I have a piece at home that was made by this newer artist called Mozart. Very well painted.
Ooh.
I rolled a 22 on insight. Was that a you should stick with your day job kind of conversation, or was it like a genuine you are good as an artist?
It's genuine. You are good as an artist. Yeah.
Because you could see why it would be like, oh, you're very good at drawing. You should focus on that. Yeah.
But she seemed generally impressed by the degree of art, the degree of detail in that picture.
Nice.
Yes, and with building up, we have accommodations that are free. If any of your people want to come stay, travel with us, come trade with us, there are spaces.
Well, that sounds good. We were looking at doing an expansion here ourselves, so, but having more people populate in Vorgara would be quite good.
Yeah, it'll keep contact open and friendships open if we're all together and we all mix and understand each other better.
Maybe we could organise. Another meeting between the three mayors.
That would be lovely. Could we do that?
Of course we can, if you'd like to. Just go see the mayor of Erethinus. Just let me know when it's happening, and I'll appear.
Where would you like to hold it?
Erethinus would probably be the best place. It's in the middle of the two.
If you're comfortable with that. I mean, I don't know what happened and what disagreement you had, but if you're comfortable.
It was a disagreement over the way we would run things without Vorgara or its mayor. It was always a case of one of us was the voice of reason to the other whenever we were making decisions and all of that. And with that element taken out. It was just a bicker between two people and no third voice to interject at all.
Okay.
So we decided to go our separate ways and just manage our own towns, own areas, and just keep the travel routes open.
Okay. As long as you're comfortable, that's important.
But that does sound very amenable to us. We're glad that you'll be able to come back to the table and we can, these free settlements can start working together again. That does sound marvellous.
Yeah. You hear a noise come from outside. It's like a bell ringing, ding, 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 and the mayor looks looks towards the door. We have a ship coming. If you excuse me, I just need to go and see our guests into the town. I will. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lilith and
Bram. Yes, ma'am.
I will. If you're looking to stay the night, please. We have some rooms here available, so please do. Otherwise, I will speak to you soon. And she gives you a courteous bow and then walks out of the room.
Thank you.
So turn back, no?
See? We did good.
It's a start. I mean, she's a lot more amenable than I thought she might be. But seems progress. And she likes your drawing, so that's nice.
Bracelets are coming closer.
Bracelets and emerald bracelets, yeah, no.
More bracelets. I mean, if she can to move to us, obviously, she'd get a bracelet.
Yeah.
But friendship bracelets.
I mean, she gets her own mayoral bracelet.
Mayor bracelets. Oh, I need to put that on the wall. Remind me when I get home.
When we get back, we'll put it on the wall. So, what are you thinking now? I guess we got some time. If we go back tomorrow, wouldn't probably hurt to just have a look around, see what this place is like.
Yeah.
Do you want to go have a post fish walk?
You mean a post fish nose?
Oh, I would never. I mean, as deputy mayor, Bram's eyes flick silently. Having never really discussed that, I think it's important that we know some of the comings and the goings, and to make sure it's not a bunch of I don't know, heavily armoured friends from across the sea.
Yes. Actually, now I'm scared. We should go have a look.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to frighten you. But,
I'm so scared now, but we should go peep.
All right, that's...
As you both walk out of the door, you can see that there is a small ship that has docked with the village itself. By small ship, I mean it's about 3 times the size of the barge that you travelled in on. Probably more of a like a secondary boat on a ship, like a escape boat type thing, or a boat that they would use when they can't get too close towards the shore, and they would use a smaller boat to get themselves in. And you can see out to sea there is a large ship that is carrying the flags of the Imperium, and stepping out of the boat are 3 armoured figures. One of them is slightly older, with one of those handlebar sideburns that go into one of those moustaches, bald head, very scarred head, cut down one eye, eyes white from it. He's flanked by 2 fully armoured gentlemen, or people, who climb out shakily onto the ship, and you can see that the mayor has stood there, and they begin to have a conversation. And that, I think, is a good point for us to take a quick 5 to 10 minutes break. It's going to be 10 minutes. It always is 10 minutes. I don't know why I say 5 to 10. It's always going to be 10. Anyway, yes, while we all do that, we will see you in 10 minutes. Goodbye. Welcome back, everybody. We have taken our short rest and we are going to dive straight back into the next half of this session. But first, I need to make a quick retcon. For those of you who are listening to the first half, you might have heard me say that the Rising hasn't happened yet and that letters were being sent to the city of Aeodrun. This story takes place 6 years before our main campaign. The Rising happened 10 years before the main campaign, so the Rising has happened. So the letters would have been sent to the city of Ostragos, which is the sort of sub-capital now of the kingdom, which is in complete disarray. So
a very different vibe, because, as you've stated, Ostragos is a pretty much walled city. Who would be like, cool, these bumfuck no ones out in the swamps are doing stuff. Oh, I don't care. Yeah.
It's very much a walled city that hasn't really helped an awful lot since the Rising. It's very much kept all of the country's fortunes within the city itself.
But as we said, there's something about the swamps that have driven the undead back. So Bram actually had a very calm rising.
Yeah.
Very chill.
Very chill.
Very chill. And Lily stepped for it all.
Yeah. Look, if you want to like skip over like the major bits,
Yeah.
where you're just like
Eepy.
peepees.
But yes, in the first half, our two party members travelled between the village of, or the ruins, kind of ruins now, sort of a village of Volgara and Erethinis, and making arrangements for Volgara to be rebuilt and repopulated. A letter was also sent to Ostragos, and to let them know, to try and request funding from there, and maybe people to come live in Volgara. And also a letter was sent to the mayor of Westhook, to let them know that there is a new mayor of Volgara with Lily's picture there, and that Lily will be coming in the next few days to meet them. You travelled to Westhook, you managed to get a sort of okay fish soup, spoke with the mayor. Mayor turned out to be a lot nicer than you thought, and they got called away quite quickly, and you went to go for a walk and noticed that a ship was just out in the bay or out to sea, and it bears the symbols of the Imperium, and coming off of a little dinghy boat type thing from the ship, because they'd get stuck otherwise, are 3 guards or 3 soldiers of the Imperium. And you can see that the mayor and the sort of lead person you can tell the lead person because they're not wearing a helmet, whereas the other 2 are wearing helmets. He hasn't got a helmet on, bald of head, got one of those mutton sort of moustache beard things going on, loads of scars on his head, and he's got a scar going down his eye he's blind in one eye, basically.
Human?
He's human, yes.
Okay.
Trying to put less dwarfs in things.
And so the other 2 guards are helmeted.
Helmeted, so you can't tell what species they are. They look like they're taller than him, though. Not that really makes a difference. You could be an elf, could be a dragonkin, could be orcs, could be anything. Could be beast folk under there or animal folk under there. You don't know.
Interesting.
But they are having a conversation with the mayor. It looks pretty. What's the word? Civil between the 2. There's no raised voices or angry expressions on either of their faces.
Can we hear anything?
You need to get closer if you wanted to. You can make a perception. Make a stealth check first to see if you get noticed, and then a perception check afterwards to see if you hear anything.
Oh, can I do, like, I'm not trying to hide because it'd be a bit derpy if I was just trying to hide. I'm just like, this part sounds lovely.
I mean, if you want to just walk over there, you can just walk over there.
No, right up to him, like, just like I'm gonna be close by, but I'm just I'm not paying attention.
Okay, you walk close enough, they'll notice you, but make a perception check.
Oh, I'm so good at perception, guys. Like, oh my god. Oof. Oh, 6. Yeah.
Bram?
5. I'm a little bit like, I don't think I'm really focused on them. I think I'm more like, oh shit. Because, okay, Bram's had a quiet few years, but also we know who attacked Lily's village.
You know, a member of the Imperium attacked the village.
Well,
Were they working with?
There were Imperium bodies.
There were Imperial. Oh yeah, the Imperial bodies
we've had to burn.
attacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, the village was attacked by Imperial invaders. The person who stole the dragon's heart was also an Imperial, although they might have been working independently, you're not 100% sure.
They were wearing armour.
They were wearing the armour, though.
Which is quite funny if you're doing like a false flag mission. You're just like, turns out I was actually working for the North. You're like, no. Anyway, yeah. I think I'm more concerned about... I'm not really listening to what they're saying, but just that sort of... I'm just going to do insight as well, because it's just that sort of thing of like 19. If they clock us, which they will, what the vibe there is, and if I need to like pick up Lily and run. You both try to get a little bit closer to have a listening on what they're saying, and you are noticed the Imperial officer, the Imperial officer looks over with a quizzical look on his face, and the mayor of Westhook follows that path of the way the direction they're looking in, and spots both of you. And yes, sorry. This here is Lilirith. Lilirith is the new mayor of the village of Vorgara. Lilirith, this is Captain Stunham.
Captain?
So do you just bow? Bram also sort of like pops his head in politely.
Seems to ignore. Doesn't ignore you. Acknowledges that you're there, but he gives you a look of your Lilirith's or Lily's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And then sort of nods and turns back to continue having the conversation with the mayor of Westhook.
Captain, I beg your pardon for interrupting.
Yes.
But on a important note that you and your people may wish to know.
Okay.
That any of your dead that were left in my village were given the proper rites of burial.
Excuse me?
They were given respectful burial rites.
It's
important that you know.
Even the mayor of Westhook looks at you with a shocked look on their face. What do you want about my people? My dead people are in your village. What do you want about?
As a captain, I thought you would have known that your people attacked my village, but they were treated with respect. Their remains were treated respectfully and given the proper rights. If any of their families wish to know that, I think it's important that they are told.
Wait, and you say you're from the village of Vorgara?
That's correct.
Looks towards the mayor of Westhook, who looks back at him and goes, I don't know what you're going on about, Lilirith. We don't know of any Imperials coming. Why would Imperials attack Vorgara? I know nothing of it, or we're not military, to be fair. We dress in armor to fend off pirates, but
23 on insight as Bram is sort of standing in the back, quietly smoking the pipe, going, "Cool." I think he's honestly confused. But what does this mayor know?
So with your role, you can the captain of the Imperial ship is completely confused, and on closer inspection, the ship that's out to sea is not a warship. It is a merchant ship. And you can tell by looking at the armor that the captain is wearing that it's not very well kept, and it's not to military grade. He himself looks like he was probably in the military at some point, probably retired now. And his two bodyguards are probably just people that he's hired to protect him, sort of thing.
So he's like merchant navy kind of.
Yeah, sort of more like a merchant navy sort of person. Yeah. If you'd rolled high enough on your perception checks, you would have heard that they were discussing trade routes between the two places and getting supplies to Westhook for its expansion. because it's difficult for Westhook to get supplies from anywhere else on the main continent because of the marshland, at least with the size of the stuff they need to get anyway for the large expansion they need to do. But with that insight on the mayor of Westhook, she looks a little bit suspicious, as if she might know something, but it's trying her hardest not to let it on, and as in that was a really high DC and you smashed it.
I'm also just quickly just gonna 18 deception for Brahm does not. Brahm is trying to be stoic, and for an 18, I think he's keeping it together pretty well. Just he's a tall, lanky guy who's smoking his pipe and just like looking around, being like, "Cool, taking that in," but is standing quite close to Lily, to obviously be if things were about to kick off, he could definitely get ready and protect her. But yeah, just sort of like going, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not going to get the mayor of Westhook to roll a insight check or anything like that. I'll use a passive insight.
Yeah,
she is too busy trying to sort of keep her face from revealing herself, basically.
I think that's very fair. And yeah, so Lily, Bram's standing quite close to you, but like in a comforting kind of I'm here. But I think also we've had enough time together. Bram's like, he's willing to throw fists, but he'd also be like, let's not go to war.
Lily's not trying to fight, but she's very stone faced and like there's no sweetness or giggles in this. She's just like, I need your people to know. The way I read it was you weren't trying to catch them. You were like, I want you to know that what you did. Yeah, that we respect. Tell your people that we respected your dead.
Yeah,
because I have no idea who to tell.
Yeah.
Right. That's very concerning. I will thank you for giving me this information. I will hand that message over to the military navy.
I appreciate it. I didn't know who to inform.
Don't know what else to do with that. And he looks towards the mayor of Westhook, who's like, I'm sorry about all of this, but yes, I have your payment here. And she pulls a bag of coins out. This is for the delivery of supplies for the expansion of Westhook. Thank you very, very much. If you'll excuse me, I have some other things that I need to deal with, so I will bid you adieu. And she sort of nods towards the captain, who gives her a quizzical look, but respectfully nods back, and she turns and walks off. She walks directly past the pair of you, because the gangplanks are quite narrow. She has to excuse me, sorry, needs to sort of get past you, and she sort of hurriedly, with her head down, goes off and makes her way back towards the tavern.
Lily gives a very cold look as she goes past, like
she tries to not keep eye contact with you as she goes.
Look back to the captain. Sorry for causing you inconvenience there, but we felt
just confused as to why Imperial forces would be on their way to Volgara, of all places. From what I know of it, from what I've spoken about with the mayor here, it's close to the mountains. It's not close to the sea at all. Doesn't seem to have any strategic purpose. I don't know why they would attack there and not here.
Well, it's a wonderful place. Obviously, it's recovering. That hopefully one day you'll be able to see it when it's back to its true glory. But,
I hope so. I've never been there myself, but it would be nice to travel there. But gestures towards his armor and towards his ship. Being a member of the Imperium, we're not actually supposed to go past here, really, unless we're here on business, other business.
A very quiet from Bram at that. Well, as the mayor said, if information could be relayed back to your military.
I'll make sure that a message gets out there. I thank you. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to head back to my ship now.
No, a tide waits for no man, as they say.
Yes.
Fair travels.
He walks over towards you, Lily, and he holds his hand out to shake your hand.
Takes a deep breath and shakes his hand.
He's got, even though he's an older gentleman, he still has quite a firm handshake, and he sort of pulls you in slightly, but not in an aggressive way. But he just pulls you towards him slightly, just so he can sort of lean in and whisper into your ear. Bram, you can hear this as well, but it's more so other people don't hear.
So we're in public. Yeah.
And he just says, "I am deeply sorry if my presence here has caused any offence to you at all, and I do not like to speak for my higher ups, but I am deeply sorry for what our forces have done to you."
I appreciate that. I didn't know who to contact, so I just saw an opportunity. I'm sorry if it blindsided you.
It did just a little bit. I need to go and make my report now. Then, I'm sorry. And he turns around and walks back and climbs back into his little ship, little boat, and the two brutish people just both look at you. You can't see their faces or anything. They just nod, climb back down, and then the ship begins to row out.
Well,
maybe we should go. No.
Put an arm around her shoulder and sort of just pull it in. And so again, like, run the hand down the back of it, like back of the head, so like just gentle stroke. Like, I think you did the right. Yeah.
I need to know too.
They have. That's the mess with this thing, Lil. They have family who also would care, and you. It's not an easy world, but sometimes it's better to be the better person, and I think you did. You know, we could have very easily thrown those soldiers into the swamp to let them get consumed, but we gave them the honours that they deserved, even if they didn't show those honours to your people. But if this is how you're starting, it's not a bad way.
It's what Dad would have done.
That's not a bad yardstick. If it's what your father would have done, then you did an honourable thing. The mayor here is full of secrets. I don't know if you picked up on that, but she got very uncomfortable. Well, that was weird, because supposedly no one knew what happened to your village, but she's obviously... I mean, how else would a small legion of Imperium soldiers arrive in these lands, apart from gestures to the dock?
And the thief probably would have come through here.
Found out again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say, this is a hornet's nest, and you know that. And the more we kick it, the more likely we're going to get stung. So you're going to have to make up your mind how much trouble we want to cause.
Well, we've learnt things, and we'll take it back with us, and we'll plan for future bugs.
Nods. Yeah. I don't know how much trouble we're in, but do you want to stay here? Do you want to? I think we should probably keep looking. No, do you just want to leave?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's good. Let's go.
Let's go find Gary.
Actually, that's a good point. He probably hasn't left yet.
Yeah, this all hasn't happened. This all hasn't taken that much time to happen. While you were eating while you were eating your fish soup, Gary was able to get his supplies, and he did leave the place. But you know, Bram, that it takes a little while to get yourself set up ready to leave again. So he's You'll probably catch him just as he's about to undock.
Also, tide. You know, we came in at low tide, and we're going to have to use a few hours for it to... Yeah, so we're getting... Gary, sort of gesture.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
You done already? I thought you'd be staying the night, at least.
Yeah, no.
Can we go home, please, Gary?
Yeah, things are not... Yeah.
Go.
All right, Bram, do you mind giving me a hand with some of this stuff that you see? He's got a couple of crates with some... I was going to say stickers, but they're light stickers on them that I've picked these up. I need to deliver them to the town, so supplies and stuff. So, mind giving me a hand. You can both load that all into the center of the ship, center of the barge, sorry, and then you both get in, and Gary pushes off, and you can begin making your way back to Erethinis. And it's a 6-hour journey. So, is there anything you'd like to discuss along the way?
I think I just go over and sort of wrap my one arm around Lily, so just sort of press her against my chest, so she's...
Is it small? Is in.
Just Bram is very lanky and tall, and then he's small. I think sort of like if you're looking at this image, Bram's eyes are just sort of haunted at that, going, yeah, there's trouble, because he's had a relatively quiet stay in the swamp, you know. Also, like, I'm trying to remember what letter his mother left him, but if she said she was like, hey, above table stuff where we've now got a bit more idea, but where he's like, yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of like we said, it's above our pay grade, but there's a lot of machinations, a lot of plans, and like you just said, where it seems, how else would a legion of these soldiers arrive here apart from if they went through? We could have probably asked about the thief, but I don't think we would have got the answer we wanted. Yeah.
Lily's just thinking, there's going to be the dream board wall, and now there's the suspicion wall.
I mean, the suspicion wall has been growing because there's thievery, there's artifacts, there's...
Other mayor.
Yeah.
What are your passive perceptions, both of you, please?
9.
What's yours, Bram?
13.
Okay. As you both begin traveling, as you continue traveling through the swamps, you get to around the 5-hour mark. Oh, okay. And Bram, you notice something in the trees. Well, you hear it first. You hear the rustling of leaves, and you have a quick look up, and you could have sworn you saw something dart from a branch to another branch. It's like that whole noise. Don't know if that came through or not, but
the beginning of it did, but there's
just a
yeah, like a ninja or an assassin jumping through the top of the trees as an arrow hits into Gary's shoulder and causes him to stumble and fall over the boat. I need you both to roll me initiative, please.
Here we go.
Can we grab Gary?
You'll be able to grab him, but he has fallen in the water.
He's fallen in the water.
Grab Gary.
So, like, try to use the stats. Like, present day Bram, that's a 16, but pre-attack Bram, that would be a 17. Right.
11.
Let me just reorder these quickly, because I do this in a really awkward way. There are easier ways to do it, but I'm just Awkward.
Ooh.
All right. At the top of the round, you watch as, or you hear the whooshing noise of footsteps or a figure jumping between the trees, leaves rustling again, and then jumping over the small canal that you're traveling down. Over in the air with an arrow pointed out, you can see a figure wearing very dark clothing, pretty much dressed like a ninja-esque type person. No symbology or insignias or anything. They might be Imperium, they might not be, you're not sure, but they are wearing complete and utter blackness, and they dive as they're flying through the air. They fire an arrow down towards. Let's roll for it. Let's roll for it, shall we? 1, 2, 3. It's going to target Lily. 4, 5, 6 is going to target Bram.
Yeah.
It's a 1, so it targets Lily, which makes sense. So, Lily, there is an arrow that is coming at you.
Come at me, geese.
For a 10 to hit you.
No!
An arrow whistling into the seat right next to you as Bram moves out of the way, and the figure disappears into one of the trees.
Rude.
Jesus Christ. Passive perception of Bram. They think they've disappeared into the trees, but you can see them. And that makes it Bram's turn. Technically should have rolled that attack with advantage, but I will keep track of it from now on.
It's like sneaky snakes. Okay, so folks, we're just having to work out, because comparing present Bram to this past Bram, but I think it's safe to say that we've talked about that there's like a bill hook for like picking things out of the, picking things up and putting it out. Bram's basically like a javelin going to try and throw this hook at the person and hit them.
Yeah, go for it. Make me an attack roll.
It's an 8, as Bram just...
Bang.
Don't even know if they dodged out of the way of it. It just goes into the foliage of the trees and disappears.
But I think having done that, I sort of gesture to Lily and point, this is where I think that's where I was aiming.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah, nothing particularly exciting for bonus actions at the moment. Where I just sort of try and get myself positioned to try and stop arrows hitting Lily, try and get in front of. Also, being aware that we can't really. Actually, I tell you what. Gary's gone in the water, right?
Yes, you do need to fish Gary out.
Can I? I realised because I used my action. Can bonus action is something to maybe bonus action try and get hold of him, if not to lift him.
Yeah, I mean these barges do have the safety rings on them for if people do fall overboard. Okay. So you can throw with a bonus action, so you can lob that out, and he is flailing around in the water, so he is alive. But you can see there's a small amount of blood that's pouring out of his wound.
Cool. Wildlife of the swamps. Alligators? What's in the swamp that might be attracted to thrashing and blood?
Tasty.
Crocodiles, definitely.
Cool. So we do need to get them out.
And giant frog.
Yeah.
And the giant frogs, yes. Yeah.
The octotoads are in the swamp as well, but they're not attracted to. They're not attracted by blood. Sorry, or by thrashing around.
No.
Yes.
They're hungry.
As you throw the safety ring out, he grabs it and sort of pulls himself in. He can't swim. You can tell by the way that he's flailing around. But yeah.
Traditional sailor stuff you don't want to learn. Bram can swim from an upbringing of being. He's used to cold water swimming from living up north. Lily, can you swim?
We're up in a swamp. Yeah.
You wouldn't go swimming in the swamp, though.
Dragon
Actually,
Kingdom.
to be fair,
No,
Lily,
my brother probably pushed me in quite a few times, so I had to learn.
So, but yeah, you look back on that now as he was teaching you, just in his own way.
Sometimes an arrow will go in your shoulder and you will go in the swamp. You need to be ready.
Poof.
Is that the end of your turn, Bram?
So that's action, bonus action. Still have my reaction. But
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so the next assassin is going to jump out of the same area that the other one landed in. Sort of flies over and fires an arrow down towards Lily.
Rude.
It is going to be a 14 to hit.
Nope.
15 to hit, sorry.
Nope.
Yep, so lands next to the other arrow and disappears into the tree line. Bram, you do not see where this one goes.
Nope.
It's now Lily's turn.
Okay. The direction that we want, the one we did see, how far away is that from me, please?
Trees themselves are probably 30 foot above the canal that you're, where they're jumping from is probably about 30 foot above you.
Cool. To dislodge said person from said tree, I wish to cast Gust of Wind.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I want to dislodge and make them come flying out. They must make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay. Make me a perception check so you can make sure that you can get this in the right place.
Oh no. Oh, 15.
15. Okay. You just spot slight movement. You're about to cast it exactly where Bram had said that he'd seen this person land. And just as you're about to cast it, you just spot movement just slightly to the right, to the left, sorry, and you quickly turn around and cast Gust of Wind there, and they'll make the strength saving throw. No, they fail. You have no pluses to that. I rolled an 8.
They get gusted. Oh.
Do they get pushed when they get gusted?
I believe they do. Ornamental, let them just. Okay. Blast from the direction you choose. Each creature in the line must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line. A creature that ends its turn in the line must make the same save. This is concentration, so I can keep it going.
Okay. You just hear the assassin go, Team Rocket's blasting off again. You watch as you hit the as you cast this Gust of Wind, the wind parts the leaves of these trees and hits this figure, this shadowy figure. Well, it's not shadowy, but it's a dark figure, and causes them to fall out of the tree and get pushed along a little bit. They land in the swamp, not in the water, because the water's is the canal that you're in, but the swamp itself is like a sinking mud that they slop into, and you can just see them sort of begin to stand up, although by the time they've stood up, they're already knee-deep in the swamp.
On a bonus action at later turns, I can change the direction in which the line goes. So if they're going to shoot any more shenanigans at me, I'm going to...
Awesome. Right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Awesome. That takes us back to the top of the round, and that's going to make it the assassin that you just blew out of the tree. Top of round 2, that assassin is going to move very slowly. Its movement is half while trying to run through or move through this swampland, which is why nobody has actually attacked this area, because it's well protected because of the swamps, and begins making their way towards one of the trees to begin climbing up again. Still, their bow and arrow, I'll say, will blown out of their hand by your attack. So what they do instead is they pull out 2 daggers and they throw them towards the ship, towards the barge. These will be 2 attacks against you, Lily, but these will be with, not 2 attacks, 1 attack, sorry, but these will be with disadvantage. 2 attacks, 2 daggers. Use the Nick special condition. There we go. Disadvantage, so that first one misses. Because it was an 18 and a 5. And the second attack, that might hit. That's a 21. Or a 15 and a 14.
That hits me.
You can see them, so this is not going to be sneak attack. And they don't have an enemy within 5 feet. That is going to be 5 points of piercing damage as the first dagger just sort of scales past you, probably gets caught up in your gust of wind and gets completely knocked off course, but the second one nicks into your shoulder and flies off behind you. I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw, please. The DC is 10. That's for your concentration deck.
22.
You are fine. You keep the gust of wind up, and at the end of their turn, as they finish their turn behind the tree that they're looking to climb, Bram, it's your turn.
If it's okay with you, can we say that the knife didn't landed in, because Bram at this point doesn't have ranged weapons, to find the knife and just throw it back at them as Bram's trying to. He's trying to do is, okay, Gary is on the ship, on the boat. No,
he's
actually,
not on the boat yet. He's got the ring on though, so he's safe. He's probably safer in the water at the minute.
Because this is fresh water. This is the canal that they built in the swamp, right? So he's not in the mud.
He's not in the mud, but it's not fresh water because the sea the sea fills it up. So it's not fresh water, but he's probably safer in the water because he would technically have 3/4 half cover from any arrows that get shot at him.
If we started moving, he would just be dragged along beside us, right?
The ship is slowly drifting, but it's not going at full speed, at the speed that it would do if he was, or if you were pushing it along.
Because Bram's kind of considering, let's get out of here while the going's good. So my point is, would it be better to get Gary back on the boat if we're going to be going, or just to carry him through the swamp as we sail?
If you're planning on running, then yes, I would pull him on. I will say that when the first dagger that missed got caught in the gust of wind, it sort of spiraled up like a little tornado and then landed in the barge, so you could grab it.
So me trying to recontrol the ship, is that going to be an action? Actually, let's get Gary back in the. I trust Lily can do attacking. I think Bram's more it's more important we get out of here. So if you're okay to I'll take action bonus action to be get Gary back in the ship, get hold of the pole, start moving at speed. Yeah.
I'd say your entire turn would be getting Gary into the ship and then position yourself to begin pushing off, because it will take an action to move the ship, but you're there ready to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Also, so having now got the deck, because Bram doesn't have the shield and the mace at this point. Well, it's back at base, but he's got the machete at his side. I think having picked up a knife, ready to be just stab anyone if they jump on or get too close. Yeah.
Awesome.
Just a quick how's Gary looking? Just doesn't look. Actually, does he look poisoned or just looks like an arrow went into my shoulder?
He looks like an arrow went into my shoulder. He looks quite injured, as if he's probably bloodied from that shot.
I do my best to try and get him under a bench, really, just out of the way. And Nina, you're right. We're gonna get you back home, okay?
Yeah, ow, it hurts.
Good man.
Arrow's still sticking out of his shoulder.
What was it? It's a full arrow. It's going to be a quick medicine thing where Bram's what do I... 11. Where a flashback to my mother going, look, when you get the arrow, just push it through. It's fine. Don't complain. And then Bram's I don't think Gary would be okay if I pushed the arrow through.
That's fair, yeah.
I think it's very different, medicine of if Bram got shot with an arrow, he could take it, but this is a commoner. This is not a... Yeah, so...
You to get him back to Erethinus and to the healers there, and then they'll be able to sort him out.
We're an hour away, right?
About an hour away, yeah.
Okay, cool. And was that an hour going at a lenient, gentle pace?
At normal pace, yeah, to standard pace. There wasn't a rush or anything to get back, so yeah.
So if I went quicker, we could get there quicker.
You could get there within 30 minutes, but there is a risk of, complications.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, as a result, does Lily have healing?
No.
Cool.
No.
Cool. It might be that Bram will just have to give him a shot of whiskey and then just be fortify.
Yeah.
Don't die.
Please don't die.
Please don't. I'm asking you ever so nicely. Please don't perish on mine. What's the name of his barge?
He doesn't have a name of it.
What a
didn't name it.
coward!
Yeah.
What?
Barge.
He didn't name it. He's one of these people that goes through barges quite a lot. Whether it be making holes in it or it gets holes in it because he bump into the sides of the canals and stuff. He's older in age and he hasn't quite got the strength to stop it from, if it does begin to drift off towards one of the edges, that he hasn't quite got the strength to stop it. So he's gone through quite a few, so he's given up naming them.
Gary.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's, I've got him back on the barge, and I am now setting up pole ready to start.
Awesome. So at the end of your turn, that is going to make it the second assassin's turn. The second assassin was able to hide without being seen, so he's going to jump out of the tree line and fire an arrow at Lily. This will be with advantage.
Duck and roll, Lil.
That is going to be a 19 to hit you.
19? Yeah, that hits me.
Okay, so this will apply sneak attack. Okay, that is 19 points of piercing damage.
Ooh,
As an arrow, as it sort of, instead of trying to do a shot directly over you, it looks like they've pulled back a little bit and they jump over more the center of the barge area, and they fire the arrow directly into your shoulder and cause you to sort of fall back. But because you're Lily and you're not a commoner, you don't fall over the edge.
Okay.
I think Bram also sort of like slightly grabs your dress with his free hand and like.
Well, you're at the other end of the barge.
I try and grab her.
Yeah.
But my
No,
knock-
Lily!
Lily, oh.
And then they disappear into the tree line again. Bram, you see them. Actually, I think even Lily sees them. No, Lily doesn't see them. But Bram, you can see them.
Be pretty impressed if I saw him. I was like, oh, you're really happy.
Yeah. you would you roll an 8? Like, I wasn't making an effort, really.
Lily, it's your turn.
Okay.
Concentration.
Yes, concentration check, please. DC is going to be 10 again.
14.
You are fine.
With my bonus action, I'm going to move the cone in the direction where they fled. But I'm also going to cast command
Ooh.
at. If I cast it at a higher level, I can do 2 people.
Nice.
Awesome.
Basically, Lily's trying to look as scary as she can with this big old gust of wind. And yeah, she'd like to cast command and tell them both to flee as scarily as she can. Can they roll a wisdom save, please?
Okay. What's your DC?
15?
I rolled a 5 and a 10 for a 7 and a 12.
Oh, assassino.
Oh, assassinos. Okay.
When it gets to their turn, they will, because command only works for a turn, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm telling them to flee.
Yeah. So on their turn, they will flee.
And I will say after that, I can keep this up all day. Windy sound.
Does one of them need to make a strength saving throw for the gust?
Yes.
She'll do that.
Yes.
Oh, I'm scared. Oh,
Oh,
take me away.
spookers.
I rolled a 2. So the other one, I'll say you do this before the command, because I reckon doing it and then command and then doing it will probably knock them out of it. But yeah, you cast a gust of wind, it knocks this one out of the tree and lands not far behind the other one that you knocked out. And then you command both of them and they just, you can't see the expressions on their faces, but they both sort of freeze in place.
I mean, to flee, not to freeze. It's flee. Bugger off. Run away.
How
It's not their turn yet, though.
How far do they fly out of a tree?
how far did they fall out of the tree? They fell 30 feet down. So yes, they did take damage.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah, they took half damage because they fell into a swamp.
That's fair, but still not nice.
Yeah.
You know, I would even go so far to say their mouth open for a constitution roll of, if not poison, at least icky.
You
Sludge.
Nasty tum-tums from drinking swamp water.
right? Is that the end of your turn, Lily?
Mm-hmm.
Top of round 3, the first assassin who is next to the tree is going to climb up it and then run, because that's the quickest way for them to get away. So they move half movement to get up the tree, and then they will dash, bonus action dash, and they disappear into the tree line. That will end at the end of the turn, so they can always turn around and come back after you. And it's then Bram's turn.
Right, let's get the hell out of Dodge. Bram's got the pole in his hand and is, I think, having just got it. You okay, Lily?
No, but I've got this.
All right, just keep your head down. They seem to be running. They're scared of you. Starts.
As they should be.
You are terrifying, and also a mare.
I'm a scary windy mare.
Make me an athletics check, please, Bram, to see if you can increase your speed.
Where's my athletics? Action skills. Athletics is it's an 11.
So you get a bit of a bumpy start to start off with, because the ship is the barge is drifted into the wall of one of the sides. So you have to push off of that to start off with, and as that happens, it begins to careen towards the other side. You have to quickly move over to the front. You have to move towards the front of the ship where Lily is to stop it from smacking into there, and you have to do that for a little while. So it causes you to move at a regular pace, but you put the stick in the water and you can try again later to try and get a bit more of a oomph from it. Is that the end of your turn?
I think there's not really much. I think that seems. It's 6 seconds.
Yeah.
6 seconds of Bram running up and down. I think that seems fair.
In terms of movement, you've moved 30 feet in the barge.
Hey, that's fair. I mean, they've got arrows, but you know, the more we can. I'm just again. I'm going to do the same that I just as I run past Lil. It's a 10 on medicine. Just how bad does the, you know, from a glance at the arrow wound, how bad does that look?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Okay.
Pretty bad.
Actually,
Owie.
I'll tell you what I can do if you're okay with this, Josh, because it is a bonus action. I still got my chef feat.
Yeah.
Where I sort of, as I come down, I'm like, I kind of go, just for you to open your mouth.
Nah.
I put a little snacky in your mouth. You've now got 3 temporary hit points.
Oh, thank you.
Which is, again, won't take your death saving throws, but might be useful if another arrow hits you.
Yeah, it will be, thank you.
Awesome. Is that the end of your turn, Bram?
Yes, I think sort of like rushing around, feeding the mare, and then getting back to, to get things back on track.
So, and we then move on to Assassin 2, who just got flung out of a tree and is in mud. So needs to use their movement to get, because they've moving at half movement, needs to get to the tree. Then they use half their action. Well, they then use their action to dash and move half up and use their movement to get up the tree, and then they use their bonus action to dash and begin running away. However, they don't catch up with the other one, because the other one managed to get quite far away. But that's the end of their turn. Lily, it is your turn. You can still see, well, you can technically still see both of them, but one is within. You've moved 30 feet now. That one has moved 60 feet away. So one is within 60 feet of you, and the other one is within 90 feet of you. Both on the same side of the canal, but in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of their turn, they sort of stopped and have turned round again to look at you, as if the command has worn off.
gonna cast it again.
Yeah.
Bram is currently struggling to get control of the barge. Keep calling it a boat, it's a barge.
I'm trying to keep those two bloody assassins from hurting us right now.
So 2 wisdom saving throws, yes?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I rolled an 18 and a 19 for a 20 and a 21.
Oh,
They're not scared of you anymore.
they're not spectrumed anymore.
Yeah, it did stop them for a turn, though.
I did, yeah. And I still have my windy pops up.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can see him, blasting him to make it really hard.
What is
And if they fling anything at us, like the wind, they're gonna stop you.
What is the range of, like, how far does the gust of wind travel?
Gusty wind, just checking. Boo, boo, doo, doo, boo. That is 60 feet.
So you can hit one
and
of them.
10 foot wide.
Awesome. So you can hit the one that's closest to you.
Yeah.
So he'll make a strength saving throw to see if he gets blown out of the tree. Or if they get blown out of the tree. Nope, because it's a strength saving throw and they don't have any pluses to it. So they rolled a 12. So he watches they run, turn around, and then get blasted in the face with wind, and they go, whoa, fall out. But because they were over the canal, they fall into the canal.
Yeah, that's my bonus and my. Yeah, I'm gonna keep yelling out. I will do this all day, and none of your attacks will hit me because of the wind.
Bram nods solemnly.
Go away.
Okay, so at the top of the next round, the assassin that is 90 feet away from you and not in the water, you watch as they jump from the side that you're blowing the wind at to the other side of the canal. So they'll sort of do like a really fancy over the top flip and land in the other tree. Natural 20 on stealth, so they have disappeared. And they reappear momentarily a bit closer to you, 60 feet closer to you, not within range of the wind because they're on the other side, and are going to fire an arrow at you, Lily, with advantage.
Rude.
So that's 25 to hit.
Yeah.
As this will be with the sneak attackies. 9, 12, 16 points of piercing damage. Bling.
So
0. Oofed.
How many? So because it would be 13 because of the bonus HP. How much did you have?
16.
Still done. You had 16
16 with the 10 hit points.
with the 10 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh, rude.
Dead on 0 as Lily just goes. It gets hit in the other shoulder and just falls back in the ship, and the gust of wind fades.
Fiddly-dee.
You can see that assassin though, because they used their bonus action to stealth and then fired a stealth shot, so they're now visible to you, Bram, as we move to your turn. But the other one that's in the water is not visible currently.
But they are in the water.
They are. The other one is in the water.
Yeah.
You've not seen them get out.
I think it's the thing that they're not visible, not because they're an assassin, but because they've fallen into a swamp.
Yeah.
And just, do we have like minor healing kits on the barge?
I'd say you got minor healing
Plasters.
points on you.
Yeah.
Couple of plasters.
What's the temptation? I think I sort of like I look at Gary and I'm like, can you wake her up, please?
Yeah. He sort of puts his fingers around where the arrow is so it doesn't dislodge or move or anything. And he gets up. He's like, yeah.
I'll look at. I'll work on both of you once we're out of here. But I think we need to go before they. Yeah.
He's going to waddle his way over towards where Lily is lying down on the floor. He doesn't have an initiative, but I will roll a medicine check for him to see if he can stabilize Lily.
Come on, Gary.
Yes, he can. So he manages, even with his own injury, he's able to patch up Lily to a point where you're stabilized. You are conscious, but you're not able to do anything, because I don't like the whole you fall unconscious, you're now unable to do anything. You can speak, but you just can't cast any spells or anything. You're out of combat, effectively, for them until you can get a hit point, but you can still talk.
Okay. How many hit points do I have?
0.
0. Okay, cool.
You just
0 hit points, you're just not unconscious.
I think
I don't like that, because that takes away player agency.
I think like Gary, that we've pushed you under a chair as well. You're under a bench out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and look. So I can see one assassin hit Lily. Problem. The other one's in the swamp somewhere. Have to be prepared for them to suddenly just appear. But yeah. So is it athletics?
You're going to move 30 feet no matter what. But if you roll high, if you roll basically over a 12, no, not over 12, over 15 on your athletics, you'll move an additional 30 feet.
So for nat 20 for 26.
I will triple that, so you move 90 feet.
I think I just catch a current and like whoosh. That's kind of great. Like Bram's like, because Bram, you sort of like see Bram's like consternation slightly fade because he's like, oh, I'm making the right choice. Cool, we're 90 feet away. Great. Yeah. You okay, Lily?
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We'll get you back and we'll try and deal with the fact that you everyone wants to kill the mayor.
We didn't get a word of that.
Yeah, we just, the subtitle is sad whimpering comes from under the bench.
That's all you get.
Okay, so end of your turn, Bram?
Yes, I think. Again, like, as much as I would love to give her another baked good, I really need to stay on this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move to Assassin's 2's turn. You watch as this head pops out of the water, sees that you've gone off, and they just swim to the edge and pull themselves into the swamp. And then you watch as they manage to get up into the tree. But you don't know what direction they've gone in. That's taken their entire turn to do that. So, well, you can see them in the tree. They're just in the tree at the minute, getting ready to move. And it moves to Lily's.
Their weapons must be, because I think they've all gone into the swamp. They must be absolutely soaked.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, I can't tell. Is this a potion? Is this a
Poor
poison?
Slippy. Oh.
Or sleepy and horrible. Lily, it is your turn. You're unable to do anything bonus action, movement wise, but you can speak.
Ow.
I know.
Pretend I'm dead and maybe they'll stop.
Oh no, she died. Bram actually looks quite concerned to her. Like,
Make me a performance check, please, Lily.
I am performing the deaths. Ten?
can I give advantage? Because I didn't use a bonus this. Can I give an advantage to also be like going, oh, she's dead, you bastards?
Yeah, I'd allow advantage for that.
Yeah.
Nice. 20. Dirty 20, but 20.
Nice. So you fake your death, effectively. And at the end of your turn, we move to the top of round 5, and it is the assassin who is already in, who didn't fall into the swamp's turn. Now you can see where they are. They're on the left side of the canal. They are going to make an insight check to see if you are, as you say, dead.
So
They
dead.
can't. She's under the bench, so they can't necessarily see.
Can't necessarily see, but they could move.
Dramatic hand.
Yeah.
Hand flop.
Yeah. The assassin doesn't disappear, but you can see them begin to move away slowly. Do you all go, Bram?
Yeah, I'll roll the so we move 30, and with the acrobatics,
Athletics.
Athletics. No, I want to do acrobatics.
I mean, you can do, but I know your strength score's higher.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 10. But
And so you just move at normal pace.
I think that's fair. Where I've just sort of like having balanced it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And at that point, you watch as the other assassin who had just climbed out of the swamp and back into the tree begins following their comrade, and combat is over. They seem to have. They believe they have taken out their target.
Good.
Still really dead.
Yep. Gary, Gary, how are you feeling?
Like I've been
an arrow?
shot in the arm, in the
Wow.
shoulder with an arrow.
Right.
That's how I'm feeling.
That's fair. I'm gonna. Can you hold on for like a couple more minutes just to make sure they're not?
I'm gonna have to, aren't I? And he sort of slumps himself down next to Lily and looks over. I'm just double checking you're not dead, and shuts his eyes again.
Very good at acting.
Yeah. Oh
think-
no! And he sort of shuts his eyes.
I think if we skip on where Bram with the pipe in his mouth is like, right, okay, both of you, we're going to try something. It's called battlefield medicine, and it's called cauterization. As he lights up the pipe again and goes, right, this is going to hurt. So try not to. Actually, takes his scarf off, puts it in Lily's mouth, and goes, okay, this is going to hurt.
Gary, hold my hand.
Hold your hand.
As the arrow goes and the pipe goes on the hot, basically to cauterize the wound.
Slightly dragon-esque scream. Ah.
I'm gonna roll perception to see it now. To see if they heard. Roll initiative again.
I think I also do it for Gary, where it's not. We're definitely going to need to get you guys to a healer, but you're not going to bleed out in the next hour. Folks, canonically, Bram's scarf now has like dragon bite marks in the cloth, but you know it's gonna go through a lot worse in a little bit, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So if it's going, I don't necessarily know if they've got hit points, but I think again they're also stable. It's
Gary was on half hit points, so they weren't quite dead. They didn't do as much damage to Gary as what they did to. That's what they did to Lily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you take some time. It takes 30 minutes. You can steady the ship out and make it move faster and get there within half the time that it would have if you'd gone at a more leisurely pace. And you get back to Erethinis, and as soon as you get back, I mean, all hands on deck. Everybody helps get both Lily and Gary, out of the barge and takes them to the small infirmary / little church that you have.
Put them in the bath.
Yeah.
I think Bram carries Lily in.
I'm gonna make Gary a friendship bracelet.
I think he deserves it. He did. I assume Gary can move under his own power. Unlike Lily.
Yeah. He does have the orcish gentleman from the open bar, the bartender, come out to give him a hand and sort of puts his arm over him and carries him up towards where the infirmary sort of religious church is, where the church is. Just call it a church.
No, I think he would like a friendship bracelet. Why don't you have a think about your beads and your lettering and like what you want to spell for him? You focus on that.
Okay.
Bram just holding your head and just cross his big manly chest. It's like,
She's just sobbing like, oh, it really hurt.
I know, my love. I know it was big and scary, and hopefully those nasty folks won't bother. I think I catch eyes with the mayor and be like,
Problems. Yes. So I think I would like Tom.
Yes.
Bram, could you please roll me a D10?
I mean, I would love to. I don't know what it could mean. Maybe it's how many biscuits I'm going to get with my cup of tea. That's nice. It's a 5.
It's 5. Okay. So 10 days pass.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be 5 plus whatever you rolled.
Yeah.
10 days are going to pass with that's also how long it's going to take for Lily and for Gary. Gary will get released a little bit earlier, but that's how long it's going to take for Lily to get released from the church and back into your sort of care sort of thing. A lot of the Gary was needed to be treated for a virus. What's the word I'm looking for? A fever. There we go.
Swamp fever. Yeah.
Yeah, basically like swamp fever. Yeah, because he fell in the swamp. He fell in the water, and the water was dirty.
Yeah.
So he needed to be treated for that. Lily's wounds almost got infected because of the 2 shots that did hit Lily were, or at least one of the shots that hit Lily was coated in swamp mud, so that got into Lily's system and caused Lily to have a bit of a fight with the infected wound and stuff. But after 10 days, Lily is released back to you, Bram, and the mayor of Erethinis will say it's probably best for you to not travel to Volgara for a little while. If they believe you're dead, then I would stay here.
I think so. I think if we can, the fewer people who know that Lily's here, the better. I think we can.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, I think we can make a bit of an effort. I tell you what, if we, I'll keep her here undercover. If we can make a bit of a thing that you sent her away, we'll send her somewhere else, supposedly. Then we can kind of cover. Just give us time. The more time we have, the better.
It might be a good idea for you both to take some time to recover from what happened, and then maybe you leave the swamp for a little while, just in case. I'm guessing the mayor of West Hookers turned on the kingdom. So in case they travel here to speak to me, or they send those assassins to just make sure that the job was finished, or even to send them after you, Bram, maybe it's a good idea for you to take a few days. We'll make sure we have people posted on lookout and stuff. Take a few days, then maybe leave the swamp for a little while.
Ram nods solemn. Yeah, they're a bit of time away wouldn't be a bad idea.
Prep it down just in case they attack you too.
We'll be fine.
No, you have to do protections.
We'll be fine. Cynthia hasn't sent anybody to attack us yet.
That's the word.
I didn't want to worry you with this, Lily. But with everything that you've discovered, I have a very strong, and with everything that we've witnessed when we went to Volgara, I have a very strong suspicion that Cynthia and her predecessor are working with the Imperium, and they attacked Volgara to remove your father. And finding out that you are the mayor, they would know who you are. You are your father's daughter. They would remove you as well. Without a mayor in Volgara, or they could put somebody in power that they could control, and that roadway or that canal that they want to make between Westhook and Volgara they could do that, destroying that ancient ruin in the process and giving them access to that temple. A lot better without them having to come through Erethinis.
It would speed up the process.
Exactly.
It would make it easier for them to see. I suppose if they come out Volgara and then they're on the mainland, if they were planning to invade, it's pretty much direct route through the swamps and then out.
And fortify yourself, and we'll do the same.
Yes, I just think take a day, maybe two at a stretch, and then leave.
Yeah, no, we'll. Thank you, sir. That's
Lily, I would like to say that since you've come out of the church, and since you've been healed, you have felt incredibly tired. It's a very similar feeling to something that you felt before, but you felt incredibly tired.
Mm-hmm.
Up to you whether you tell Bram about that or not.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
I think with insight, where I look at her and I'm like, yeah, that looks like a woman who got shot with an arrow and got sick for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sort of, I think, I'm not going to carry you again, but I think sort of a little bit like arm around you, sort of like, do you want
Puppies.
I was like, I don't want to, right, okay.
Puppies.
So pick you up.
I'm small and sicky.
In a princess carry, so you're like your head up on the shoulder. Oh, yeah, I can, I'll do, what do you want for supper tonight? We'll do what you want, rather than that,
Not fish stew. I don't want fish stew.
No, I've rather lost my taste for fish stew.
Me too.
I could make you a curry. Do you want spice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do you some nice curry, not fish.
Okay, that sounds nice.
Yeah. And hot chocolate. Do you want hot chocolate?
Ooh. we can have a nice mug of Dad's hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Just stroking the back of your head. Like, yeah, we'll do that.
You make your way back to your hut and you put Lily into the bed. And you go out and begin to prepare dinner and hot chocolate and stuff. And while you're preparing that, Lily, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw, please. Or death. Not joking.
No. 17.
17. Unfortunately, not high enough. When the dinner is finished, you put it on a tray with the hot chocolate, everything's steaming hot because it's nice and lovely. And as soon as you walk into the bedroom and look at Lily, she is sound asleep.
All right. Study in the doorway. No. You should. You should sleep that off. I'll come and check on you in a couple of hours. But right. I guess I'll take the hot chocolate. That is good. Actually, she had a point. That is really good.
Lily wakes up. You've just drunk a hot chocolate.
Revenge.
You can't have the hot chocolate now. You'll have a bit of curry and then you have the hot chocolate afterwards. You know, it's a sweet after dinner treat. You can't be mad with me. I demand that you forget this immediately. I mean, she's alive.
Yeah, she's breathing.
Yeah,
she's just Sparko.
Yeah.
Sounds asleep. Could you both hit the long rest button for me, please?
Yeah.
You'll be able to take a long rest. In the morning, you wake up, Bram, and if you want to check on Lily is still asleep.
Go over, like, hand on the forehead. She
feels normal temperature. Doesn't feel like a fever, like she's got a fever or anything like that. Just looks sound asleep.
Well, because I've been going to see her while she's been healing. This isn't done. You know, she's been pretty sleepy the entire time.
It's been pretty sleepy, you know, throughout her stay in the hospital. A lot of that was due to the fighting off the infection that she had flowing through her. But I mean, yeah, it's not anything unnormal. You wouldn't think it's not normal, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
she did go through quite an ordeal.
Yeah. I mean, slightly at the back of his head is like, I didn't hear her moving around in the night because she didn't get up, and you know. But I'll give her a few more hours. You know, I'll probably give her. If I wait until lunchtime, it's definitely going to be a 12-hour. I can at least, if she's still out of it, she can throw a pillow at me and I can leave her. So yeah, I'm gonna leave her for a few more hours. Bram is like literally just like standing in the middle of his house going, I don't know what to do. All right. Actually, no. Then he's like, all right, okay. Starts like tidying up his living room area and like going, oh, I've got the loot. Okay, making sure, wrapping the loot in like cloth, in oilcloth. Take the shield, take the mace off, and start. So I think that's the way he sort of sits there, and then he's like, right, and then sort of like as we're watching time pass, he's cleaning the mace, reaching in the loot, resorting all the things. As we get to about lunchtime, and I go and check on her.
Yeah, you go check on Lily. She's moved. Looks like she's rolled over onto her side and has pulled the covers up, so she looks like a caterpillar in the duvet and stuff, but is still sleeping.
Go over. Lily, I know you'll be mad at me for waking you up, but you probably would want to have lunch at least.
No answer.
Lily.
Other than the me. Who's actually sleeping.
She's me.
Me. Actually sleeping.
Yeah.
It's not like it's complete silence. There is like, if Lily was a snorer, she'd be snoring, me or anything like that. Any sort of indication that she's asleep, you can see.
I said for not snoring, she definitely does pop. She makes pop as a dragon, just like sort of look down at her. I'm trying to remember, like, when she last went into, like, the slumber, was she hurt first, or was it like is this...
She wasn't hurt first, no. I don't know if Lily told you about the slumber. Like, properly. She told you she was asleep for a long time.
She would have done it. We've spent quite a bit of time together. She would have, like, shown him on the book.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
yo, this happened. It's crazy.
I think that even that sort of like, for like, thematically, we've seen Bram going, and then next thing we know, he's looking at the book and going, I don't understand, because it's in Draconic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Bram just sort of looks and goes,
There are doodles.
Yeah, I think he's sort of like, it's like, I think it's like he looks at a diagram of like a sleeping Lily, and then like the book comes down to nearly like a photorealistic, like, right, okay, shuts the book, puts it on the table, right, that's looks at her. That's an embuggerance. Maybe I can move you. Wrapped in a carpet in the dead of night. No one would be suspicious. No one would think, oh, Bram killed his house guest and then took her out in a carpet. Probably make the mayor happy. Probably make the emperor would be very happy to hear that you had gone. And then he kind of realizes that she's not really there, and he's like, sorry, I kind of got used to just talking to you. I'm not going to lie, Lil. I'm not quite sure what to do right now. I mean, if they has pulled up a chair that's just sitting next to you, it's like, well, if they're worried about you making big executive choices, I suppose if you're in this slumber of yours, that won't be a problem. Unless it turns out that you are just a very deep sleeper at this point, and you can actually hear. I mean, if this is a joke, it's not funny, but no.
There's a knock at the door.
Shit. Bram puts a pillow over Lily, so she's
over her face.
Just sort of hide it away. Goes up and like for one of the first times ever, like shuts the door in between, and then walks. I think we've established there's like a spy hole, or there's like a window, so I can. There's somebody at the door. Who is it?
You look out the spy hole, and you expect to see somebody stood at the door, like you can see their face at the spy hole, but you have to look down, and you can see an elderly dwarven man wearing fancy leather armor and a stick in his hand, sort of with one of his hands behind his back, just looking around with a sort of light smile on his face, just having a look at the surroundings around him.
Is this?
It's Solomon.
Are we retconning this bit?
We're slightly retconning what happened in the Origin episode. Well, we're going more into detail with it than what we did.
That's great. That's fine. I was just checking because some of the things that Bram does in that previous one doesn't make sense considering what's just happened. Bram goes, bloody hell. Hold on. Opens the door. Hello?
Ah, Abraham, it's good to see you.
Mr. Solomon, a pleasure. Please come in.
I heard you were here, so I thought I would come. I received your letters, actually, and he walks in and sort of takes a... Is it all right if I take a seat?
No, please, by all means. Would you... do I remember what he used to drink when I was young?
You've never seen him eat or drink.
Right. Can I get you something to eat or drink?
No, I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to come and see how you were doing and ask if you were doing any mercenary work at the moment.
Eyes flick the. I could. Yeah. No. I could. Yeah. No. I could certainly. How can I be of assistance?
Oh, would you like to come down to the bar with me? I've got somebody who'd like to speak to you.
Yeah. No, of course. Yeah. I just one. Right. I've gone down to the bar. Just push. My friend's sleeping off a hard night, so yes. But yeah, no, happy to come in.
Okay, that's fair enough. He doesn't pry into that at all, and he gets up, and then walks out. I'll meet you down the bar in a moment.
I'll see you down there. Right. Okay. Just quickly, what's in? Okay, so. I know you probably can't hear this, but Solomon. I remember I told you about Solomon. He's back. He might know something. He might be able to. It could just be that you're really, really tired, Lil. And everything's fine. I'll be back in a bit. Just don't panic. Puts the pipe down on the table. Look. Always got to leave something to come back for. I'll see you in a little bit.
And you head down to the bar area where you can see Solomon sat at a table with a familiar face of yours. Not your face, but a familiar face. It's Greta. It's your face.
Hi, I made a life choice. Walk over. Hi,
Abraham.
Greta, how are you?
Rambles.
Gret. How have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Lily, Scarlet gets to see this for the first time.
Yeah. No. I've not been too bad myself. Life out in the swamp probably not as exciting as what you've been up to.
We moved to Merkstead a long time ago, and we've been, just opened up a new herbalist shop, and we've been doing a lot of things, helping the people there. It's been quite good. And not Abraham. Solomon's like, yes. Anyway, I'm sorry to cut the conversation short, but we came to acquire your assistance, Bram. We have some issues going on back in Merkstead that we could do with somebody that we trust there, to be honest.
I think, again, thematically, we saw that Bram was, leaning into Greta, and it's like, oh, right, this is... trouble. Yeah, no. Yeah, actually, I probably could... this is probably not the place. I probably should be getting out... Some stuff's happened, Mr. Solomon. Getting out of town's probably a good idea.
That's good, then. Yeah. Merkstead, do you know where Merkstead is?
I remember my parents talking. It's across the continent. It's the other coast, right?
It's on the east side. It's on the Storm Coast. It would take us just over 3 months to travel there.
Okay. Yeah. I have someone I need to someone who probably but if I set, can I call for someone later? If I set up, I might need to transport someone from here, someone who might be.
Yes, no, we can do that, definitely.
Yeah.
Can organise that for you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Bram's very conflicted because he's like, I shouldn't leave her, but then again, it is Greta.
And then Tom's like, do I mess up the entire campaign?
I mean, the temptation is there, and
Yeah.
Bram is incredibly loyal, but is also like, Josh, sort of above table, how badly do you think I would mess things up if I confided in Solomon some of the things I've been up to?
Not at all.
I think, can I, you're both welcome to sort of like lean in. So a couple of days ago, I've been working with the mayor of one of the local towns.
Oh, interesting. That's good.
Yes, no, she's. I mean, Miss Solomon, you're a knowledgeable man. You understand the comings and goings of the world.
Yes.
The as you know, the village was massacred a few years ago.
The village of Volgara, yes.
Volgara, yes.
Yes, I knew the mayor of the town, of the village.
Sir, and also sort of, he's including Greta in this. The mayor's daughter was.
At this point, Greta gets up and walks off. She's like, "Oh, okay. I just need to go and do something over there," and she gets up and walks off.
Look back at Solomon. I'm like, okay.
Don't mind her. I think she's been both excited and anxious to see you again. It's been so long.
No. How? That connected to that, sir. Have you heard from my mother recently? She's sort of.
Not recently, I'm afraid. No.
No, she rather went off to do one little mission, a bit like how they used to for yourself, and then she's rather
Disappeared.
Yeah.
She'll reach out when she's ready to.
Bram nervously sort of like. Anyway, the Volgara, the new mayor, the daughter, she survived the massacre.
She survived.
She did.
She survived the mass. What's her name?
Lilith.
Lilith.
Yes, sir.
Like the Guardians. And I don't say that lightly. Her father was sure that she died.
Her father's alive.
Her father is alive, yes.
Oh,
I saw him not too long ago, probably just under a year ago.
Well, we
He
were rather
came to find
hoping-
me.
That's good. That we were rather hoping that when we kept. I mean, my mother went and her father went, and we were rather hoping, but so she's. Do you want to come up to my place? I can show you some things.
Certainly, and he sort of follows with you. Leaves Greta.
I think as I get up, and me and Greta sort of like make eye contact. I'm like, oh.
Sad and pissed off eyes look back at you.
Bram sort of like embarrassedly smiles. And he's like,
She's instantly put two and two together and got 6.
Of course. Scarlet gets more and more furious. Bram takes Solomon up, and I said, doesn't go into the artifact, but covers the fact that the Imperium attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Lily's brother died saving her.
I
Lily
heard about that because Lily's father watched him die.
Well, she managed to survive, but she she sort of fell into a coma.
Slumber. That's what that's called.
Slumber.
It's an old tradition. It's seen as a curse amongst the Dragonkin now, but it's a sign of heritage. Only those who are still connected to the dragons are able to enter into the slumber.
Well, it's been a very active week. So we went west. As you might know, the mayors previously would have like an alliance.
Yes, Valdris would tell me about them whenever we'd meet up, yes.
Well, we tried to do that again, and someone put 2 arrows in Lily. She's alive, but she's currently back in the slumber in that bed in there.
May I see?
Yes, yeah. Bram doesn't even doubt, because this point, Bram completely trusts this man. This is his grandfather. Takes her in. She's probably not exact. She likes. She does like.
She's still caterpillared.
Yeah. No, please. She's probably not exactly in a position to receive guests. But I thought, to be honest, if you knew anyone who, she's a concern. I think we need to. I don't think we could take her now, but I think. No.
Whenever a dragonkin has entered into the slumber, they should not be moved whatsoever. Any slight jolt or anything like that could cause them to wake up, and you might think that's a good thing, but it's not. There have been instances where a dragonkin has woken up after when their slumber has been interrupted, and they've gone back to basics. They've become feral and attacked anybody that is near them, and they carry the strength of a dragon when they do.
Well,
it is he looks towards you, nods, because he trusts you as well.
Yeah.
The slumber is a form of ceremorphosis. It is the beginning of the transition for a dragonkin to turn into a dragon. Now, or have the ability to do it. It takes a long time, and not all dragonkin that enter the slumber are able to achieve it, but it's something that can happen. Lilith's father, Valdris, was, or is, considered an elder dragon, so he's one of the originals. And because his connection to the magic, the draconic magics, was not severed, he is able to. It has been passed through his lineage, which is why it's happened to Lilith.
Right. I mean, so she went into the slumber and came out of it again.
Yes.
Do you think it's caught up with her? Do you think she didn't? She hasn't completed her ceremorphosis, as far as I know. I suppose that's not really a thing you tell a person, but
whenever a dragonkin exerts an enormous amount of their power or is gravely injured, it's a way for their body to recover properly. Their body might be physically healed, but there are parts of the body that still need to heal. You know this, muscles and tendons, a hole may heal up and you may be able to move around and stuff, but your muscles, tendons and bones are still achy and sore. The slumber is a way for a dragonkin to fully heal from their injuries, as if nothing happened. If they were to break a bone and fall into the slumber, the bone would reform as if it never broke. Strong and powerful magic.
That's good. That's she's this Bram with like slightly watery eyes. So this is good. This is healing. This is helping.
She'll be healing, and he moves over and just points, doesn't touch Lily, but just points at her skin. You may not have noticed this because you don't know to look out for it, but your friend's skin, parts of their skin is beginning to take on a more grey hue. One part of the slumber is that they turn to stone while sleeping. It is a way for it to protect them from outside elements and from predators and all of that sort of stuff if they were to fall asleep in the woods, sort of thing. Dragonkin are able to survive long periods of time, similar to how a bear hibernates, but on a longer scale. They have the capacity and metabolism to survive.
Bram very quietly goes, so this is good. Okay.
In a way, yes, but there is also a downside to it.
Eyes flick up.
A person can enter into the slumber and never awaken again. This is also a sign of... This also happens to dragons as well. They could just sleep for a millennium, never wake up again. There is a way to break this. There is a way to break the slumber without causing them to go feral. You would need a special poultice potion to do it, and it requires dragonthorn in order to do it. Dragonthorn is a herb that grows, or a piece of vegetation that grows around a slumbering or dead dragon.
Bram nods. I think it's fair to say that Lily would have. I think Lily read a lot of the book to him and go, "This is interesting. This is interesting." We've had a lot of nice
stuff that I think Lily's probably, over the time that you spent together, has gone back to back with that book with you. This is all stuff that Lily doesn't know.
Right, amazing. Oh, okay. So is she going to start like sprouting herbs then?
Not straight away. It will take some time for it to happen. The best thing to do would be for you to find a location that does have some dragonthorn already, get that, and then bring that back to Lilith. I have an idea of where there might be some, but you would need to come with me to bring it back.
All right then. Okay, so I'll come with you.
Yes.
I'll help you with your problems, and then I'll try and hopefully I'll leave her a note so she at least knows.
Leave her a note and tell her that if she is to awaken while you're not here, travel down to Abercathus, go to the docks, and there will be a ship that will bring her to Merkstead. It's called the Purple Jewel.
Purple Jewel. Okay, I'll. It's quite funny, sir, because I was already preparing to leave, so I'm pretty much packed.
Make sure you tell anybody that if the plan is to keep Lily safe, make sure to tell them that she's gone with you, so that nobody comes looking in this place. I'll put a large sum of money down to make sure that this stays in your name, so that nobody enters it.
Well, hopefully
keeps her safe.
I'll be back in a few months, so I can.
Yes, well, I'm guessing the lease would probably run out in that time, so we'll make sure. I'll make sure I put a big enough down payment on it. And I'll make sure to cover a couple of years at least, just to make sure that, just in case she is in the slumber for longer.
Bram blinks a couple of times, and then was like, "Actually, it's going to take us 3 months to travel the continent. That's not a bad idea."
3 months. 3 months there. Whatever you've got to do there, then 3 months back.
I've got to go on adventures. Who knows? All right. I'll write her that note. I'll be down shortly. So.
Okay. I'll see you soon. And he wobbles out and and the door shuts behind.
Just for it's good to see you again, Mr. Solomon.
It's good to see you too, Abraham. It's been a long time.
As you leave, and Bram's like, "But you haven't aged a day." Just like, Bram sort of sits in the chair and just goes, Okay. I'm doing the right thing. I'm gonna get you back. Okay. Gets the paper. Uses Lily's nice paper that she used to write the letter, and is like, "I think you understand." And so I think I'm using her father's pen as well. And Bram's handwriting is not as pretty as Lily's, but like, "Dear Lily, it's me, Bram. There is a section where
your friend,
you know
a
me,
little stick figure."
Yeah, your buddy. Actually, Bram does try and draw a picture of his own face. It's not as good as Lily's, but if
maybe
you
a
read,
performance check,
please. How good my
drawing is. How good your drawing is. If you roll a natural 20.
Stickman. With thumbs. Stickman with thumbs.
That is the look. So the performance is actually, it's a 19. It's actually
we're gonna stick with the stickman theme, but it's a case of you. Have you ever seen in like the older video games where you can put the cheat code in to give yourself a large head?
Yeah.
You've drawn yourself a large head that is actually quite good. You've got a few of the proportions off on like your nose and your cheeks and stuff. You make yourself look a little bit chunkier than what you actually are. And your ears look a little bit shorter, and one of them's wonky, and all of that sort of stuff. Your eyes don't quite line up, but it still looks like you. And then you've got a tiny little bitty stick man body. Because drawing bodies is hard.
Underneath there is a note that says "bodies, drawing bodies is hard."
Yeah.
Dilly, it's me, Bram. You know, from the barge / your friend,
Your boy.
/ your boy. What up, it me, your boy. If you're reading this, this means that you have managed to wake up before I have a chance to get back to you. I am going to go and try and work out a way to bring you back. This involves me working with a old friend of mine. Pauses, looks out the window, adds S, old friends of mine. The advice given to me is that if you do wake up and I am not here, you are to head to Abercathus and find a ship called Purple Jewel. They will bring you down to me. I hope that all is going to be well and that you are recovering. My friend did inform me that if all of this slumber stuff works out, there is a possibility of you becoming a dragon. So that's exciting. Think about that. You will be the mayor of a small village as a full dragon, and you can get as many gravy boats as you like. You have to look on the positive side, Lil. Take care of yourself. Hopefully I will see you very shortly. You protect yourself. Missing you already. Bram. Arrow. See, very VV good drawing. And puts the pipe on it so she knows that it's authentic. Right, yeah. Everybody's leaving me. Okay. Actually goes, shit. Okay, sorry, Lil. Dear Ma, if you're reading this, you have managed to come back. Hopefully, you'll have met Lily. She is my friend / scribbles out the slash, puts in a full stop. She is a good person and she really would need some help, and I trust both of you implicitly. Bram walks back over to the Lily letter. P.S. If you meet an orcish woman called O'Brenner, that's my ma. You can trust her. Walks back to his letter. Please take care of her. I'm currently working with Mr. Solomon. Where were you? Bram. And puts it down. Right, anyone else? Okay, I'll go talk. Bram is like, oh, God, there's so much to do. Oh, Guardians. Alright, okay. Goes, I think as we speed through it, you seem like talking to the mayor and going, so as far as anyone knows, me and Lily have travelled. Hopefully I'll be back within a couple of... Mr. Solomon probably talked to you. We'll probably be back within a couple of years. I know Lily was worried about the protection of this place. We've gone north.
Okay, yep, that's fine. We'll keep an ear out for things and just let us. I would say write to us, but don't. Mr. Solomon has given us a large amount of money to keep your hut for the next couple of years, so I will keep that. Make sure that's not public. So,
Bramsel smiles and is like, sincerely, sir. Thank you for your help over the last few years.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about the trouble we brought to your door, but...
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It was bound to catch up eventually. And he shakes your hand. And you can make your way down the stairs towards the bar area. And that is where the rest of Bram's origin story will continue or does continue, you
So-
can watch that on YouTube.
So, Greta, how are you doing?
There's some small little inserts and things. With, like, there's some things that are slightly different from what happened in the origin story, but it's the basis. It's basically the same.
I think pretty much from the point we leave now, and there's a 3-month journey, and who knows what's happened on the 3 months that results in Brahm
No idea.
making choices and dying for the woman he.
But we come back as we sort of leave Bram. We come back to the doorway of the hut where Lily is sleeping, and we watch as from the outside as the hut, like the passage of time happens. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, the sun comes up, the sun comes down. There's rain that hits the wood. There's bright sunshine that dries everything up. There's blowing winds, people that walk past, that whole sort of speeding montage thing. And on one night, a hooded figure approaches the door, knocks, and there isn't an answer. They reach into their pocket and they pull out a set of keys and they unlock the door and they open it. And as they step in, they close the door behind them and they pull their hood down, and it is a tall, orcish woman with a large hammer in one hand, shield in the other. She puts both of them down, looks around, sort of wipes her finger across the worktop, and there's a big, thick layer of dust in her hand. Takes a deep sigh, and then notices two pieces of paper over on the worktop, on a different worktop. She walks over on the same worktop, and she pulls the first one over and reads the one to Lily with your pipe on top of it. And she picks the pipe up and she lights it, fills it up and lights it and starts smoking out of it. And then she looks at the other letter, which is addressed to her. And you can see a tear falling down her eye, although her eyes are purple and there's a purple tear that falls down her eye. She puts she picks that letter up, folds it up and puts it into her pocket. And then she walks over towards the door and opens it. And she can see inside that at some point during however long it's been, Lily has kicked the covers off. And there is now a stone statue of Lily laying on her side in the bed. And your mother, O'Brenner, has opened the door slightly, looks in. And she just hears a voice behind her say, "Is he here?" She turns round. "He's not here. Is there anybody else there?" "No, just checking to make sure he wasn't here." She shuts the door again. And she turns round, and as she goes to walk out of the door, we can see, the audience can see a gangly looking man with like a mechanical machine whirls and things on his back. Big puffer mask on, looks very decayed and decrepit. "Oh, we best hurry up and get to Merkstead then. We've got some deals to make with the Reavers, haven't we?" And she's like, "Okay." She places the pipe back down. She puts the pipe out and places it back down on the worktop. And she shuts the door and locks it behind her. And then the passage of time happens again. And that's when Lily wakes up. Lily, you're not sure how much time has passed, but the one thing you do notice is it's happened again. You have woken up in a bed of dust. Stone dust.
No. Shakes it off. No. Gets up in a complete panic. Bram, it happened again, Bram. Running around.
You head out into the living area, and you can see there is a very thick layer of dust all over everything. I mean, it doesn't even look like anybody's been in here for years. You do spot a letter over on the counter that is also covered in dust with a pipe.
Start very much crying. No. Reads the letter.
Read the letter. I won't get Tom to recite the letter back, but
"I've got a very large head. I'm upset. I go find a ship. Hit me. You know me from this. if my mum turns up, trust her. She's great.
The gist of it that you get is Bram's gone to find a way to try and wake you up. And you need to travel to Abercathis in order to get safe travel to Merkstead to basically meet up with him if he's not returned. But you're not sure how much time has passed.
Has a full-on panic. Is definitely having a full-on meltdown cry with ugly cry. Starts looking around. Kath, starts trying to pack things.
Try and pack things. One thing that you know about the slumber is you don't age during it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still the same age as what you were the last time.
Yeah, it's trying to pack, but her brain isn't quite on. Like, okay. Pipe.
Your book is also wrapped in the oil skins that Bram uses. That he's obviously sort of. I think also the pens in there, the papers in there. Basically he's put together a pack of these are the things that just in case of wet or mold or anything. So there are and some of your clothes. He's sort of packed stuff and protected it. But, yeah, everything else a little bit dusty and a bit mangy. Yeah.
It looks at the dream wall and the suspicion wall.
Yeah, the writing on them have faded.
Yeah. It is just full on crying. Just panic. She's panicked and scared. Very scared. Just tries to breathe and then tries to get out.
Yeah, I mean, you can get out easy enough. It unlocks from the inside, so you unlock it and head out.
Mm-hmm.
The town itself hasn't changed that much. Everything looks a little bit more sort of old. Everything just seems to have aged in some sort of way, but the town's still there. You can make your way down to the bar if you'd like to. You get down there and... Sorry?
Yeah, the brain is just like, okay, people, I need to go look at people.
You get down there, there's a couple of people there, and you just hear a voice. Lily, is that you?
Done.
You can see the mayor of the town not wearing the same clothing that he was wearing before. He looks like he's wearing more civilian clothing and less office-based clothing, like as in mayor clothing. I thought what are you doing back here?
Runs up to him and cries.
Okay, he looks considerably older now as well.
No, you can't. Cries.
That's what happens. I'm no longer the mayor of the town.
Who is?
Sorry, who is?
Who is?
Some noble person from the city of Ostragos. I don't know his name. I've not met him.
How long?
I came out of office 2 years ago.
How long have I been away?
Away? You and Bram left 5 years ago at least.
It's closer to 6, but we're not worried about that.
Cries more heavily and collapses on him.
Oh, Lily, where's Bram?
He left me.
Where did he leave you?
Points at the house.
What? You've been here he sort of looks around and there's not many people around, but he sort of whispers to you, you've been here the entire time. How have you survived?
She's not making any sense. She's just crying. Left me. Didn't come back. Why didn't he come back?
I don't know. I told him not to have any communication with us in case anybody cottoned on that you were still alive, he whispers at you. That you were still alive, he whispers at you. There you go.
They're worried. Hello, I've got a problem with my voice.
I think you need to leave, Lily. There's been rumblings of more Imperial soldiers Westhook has had a bit of a upgrade, should we say, and more Imperial soldiers have taken root there. It's effectively not part of the kingdom anymore. It's now part of the Imperium.
What a bitch!
Oh yes, she is still mayor there as well. She's managed to fangle it around so that she doesn't get voted out, or anybody that tries to vote against her doesn't survive before they vote.
I knew she was bad. I knew she was bad.
Right, let's get you out of here. I'll get you on one of the barges.
I have to go. I have to go here. Shows the letter. I have to go here.
You need to get to Abercathis. Okay, well, if you head out east, once you head out east, you need to make your way towards the town, towards the village of Eldermire, and then once you get there, travel south towards Hazelthorn, and then you can go west to Abercathis. Okay, and you'll get there.
Directions.
Sorry.
So many directions.
I'll write it down for you. And he takes the piece of paper with the letter and he writes down where you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands you some gold coins. This will cover your fare on the barge. I can't unfortunately give it to you for free, so I'm no longer mayor.
Is my town okay? Is my town okay?
Yes, there's it's expanded. It's got lots of people living there now. We had quite a few people come from the north, actually. There's been some rumblings of invasion up there, so a lot of refugees have been looking for places to stay. We also had a few people sent over from Ostragos, from the tents, the refugees from way back from the Rising. So it's we've even Erythinus has even had a bit of an upgrade. We've expanded a little bit, so it's been good. You don't have to worry. There's a good person in charge of it, a friend of mine. So it's safe, and nobody has found that place.
Okay.
Okay. But let's get you on your way. Okay. He puts you in the barge, and he's a bit hesitant to leave you, but he's not old. He's too old now to get in one of these barges. He's like, "I'm sorry I can't come with you, Lily, but you'll be okay, all right? Give Brahm a stern telling off when you see him, okay?"
Is Gary okay?
Is what okay, sorry?
Is Gary okay?
Gary's okay, yes. He retired. He retired a couple of years back. He just just potters around at the bar. He's not at the bar at the minute, but he potters around. He's good. Right. I'll see you. And the bargeman pushes the barge off, and you begin making your way east towards the village of Eldermire. And then once you've done that, you then head down to Hazelthorn. Takes you about 3 weeks to do that journey in total. But that is the point where we're going to end, because that's going to lead into the next session. So, what do you want to say, Tom?
I was like to think that we just cut. It's Brahm in the Colosseum, just getting pounded on. It's like, oh, I'm sure Bram's okay. As his nose shatters as he gets punched. It's like, oh, he's fine. Don't worry about Brahm. Brahm, we've spent the last 5 years just wandering around going, there was something I was supposed to do. I've got a feeling there are a couple of people who are mad at me. I don't know. What do you think, Hawthorne?
Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We have been Roll Together RPG. If you liked what you've seen, we do D&D stuff on Mondays from 6 p.m. UK time. Check out our socials to see what's going on, and you can join our Discord to also get announcements in there as well, and to chat to us if you'd like to. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, and to the D20 Club and Dice Heads on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat that must be sent to Tom so Tom can forget about it. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We will see you next time. Massive thank you to my players for playing as well. Goodbye.